Yeah, Test cricket. Australia wins 3-0. Bowl him out for 27. How good Scott Boland. Build him a statue. Mitch Stark has 400 wickets and 100 tests. Queensland win State of Origin. Yay. We'll chat about that. The rounds in the NRL and the AFL. Lots of off-season movement in the NBA. The NFL is less than 2 months away. A massive couple of weeks in the UFC. We're going to talk about the UFC 318, which was today, but also go back to 317. Wimbledon's happened. The US Open, the British Open is happening right now in the golf. F1, boxing, plenty to get through in this episode of On The Esky, Aussie Sports Podcast. We like our Aussie sports. We also like our US sport. You can check out the timestamps that we'll put in on this YouTube if you want to skip to the sports that you like. We also have social media. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X, the like. We like to start this show by shouting at beer to commend sporting endeavour in the past week or two. Shorto, the man on my left, how are you? And who are you shouting at beer this week, mate?
Shane Van Gisbergen gets another beer for me.
Shouting at beer.
But I think this one is well deserved. He's won back-to-back races in a row. So they, of course, both road courses, San Diego and Sonoma. Is that how you say it?
Sonoma?
Yeah, something like that. But either way, he's now won 3 of the road courses. They've been 4 this year. There's a 5th one coming up. So he's been very dominant in that. He's become the first driver. Oh, he's technically a rookie this year because he wasn't full-time last year. So for a rookie, he's now won 3 races this season, the most from pole as well in a single season since Jimmy Johnson, who, if you know NASCAR, is a very big name as well. So there's a lot of that sort of talk coming into it. Further on this, clean sweep in Chicago. So he got pole in both the Cup and the Xfinity race and then won both, which is, a Saturday-Sunday race. So he won both races. Almost backed it up last weekend, but he finished second in the Xfinity race, unfortunately. But otherwise, he's been very dominant, which has kind of led NASCAR to have a little bit of an SVG problem because, as I mentioned, he's won only road courses and there's only 5 in the year, and I think they have 30-plus races otherwise, which are all oval-based. So road courses historically have been throwaway races for a lot of people, but Trackhouse Racing kind of realised, hey, NASCAR's starting to add more of these road course races. Why don't we target them? Who's the best touring car, big chassis V8 driver on the planet? It's SVG. Let's bring him across. And he's done exactly what they expect him to do, win the races. Winning a race gets you into the playoffs, so he's locked in for that. And so if you watch Full Speed, which is the Netflix documentaries for NASCAR, the equivalent to Drive to Survive, SVG will be on next season because he's been locked into the playoffs with his wins. But now the fact he's got 3 wins, he's the 3rd seed behind Danny Hamlin and Kyle Larson from memory. But if you looked at his points outside of the road races, he'd be middle of the pack. He'd be 17th. So there's a lot of questions and people asking about the playoff system, how they fit the road courses in, because, Trackhouse Racing and SVG have kind of abused this ad of road courses by getting the best driver on the planet for that kind of racing.
Isn't that just smart?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But it'd be interesting come playoff time, because there's 10 races in the playoff time.
Are they all on a track?
1 road course, which also doesn't come early in the playoffs as well. It's kind of towards the end. So he would need to do well in the oval course races to get, I think it's 12, I can't remember if it's 12 or 16 playoff drivers, but to get to from, say, the 12 to the 8, he needs to do well to then potentially win the road course to kind of lock him in for a top 4 finish where he gets a chance at winning the competition, which is, I think, the strategy in this. So, a lot of big questions being asked about how useful, how this kind of fits in with their playoff system and the fact that, he's been so dominant on road courses. If he can jag an oval course win or improve on his ability on the oval course, I think would really go a long way. But, for now, I'm very happy with his growth in the sport. Shows how dominant he is on road. Finishes, double-digit seconds ahead of everyone else because he's very, very quick. So something to follow as we get closer to the playoffs, which I think starts August for them. I think they run up and kind of finish towards the end of the end of their season runs into the start of the NFL season, for example.
Do you know how their contracts work over there? Is he contracted for next year or uncertain?
I think but yeah, it's hard to say because he's now a full-time Cup driver. He drove most of the Cup races last year, but was full-time Xfinity. I think the other plan is, I've already heard they're planning to add a 6th road course race for next season. Yeah, that makes sense to keep him around. Like he's doing exactly what they plan to do, which is win the road course races and give Trackhouse Racing a spot in the playoffs. Like they're guaranteeing them they'll have a driver in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You guys,
well, I was just gonna say complete nuffy, but if you're good at a road course, would you not also be good at driving around in circles, or is it like the setup of the car as well? Yeah, tactics.
Setups is a big thing, but you got to remember as well that everyone he's competing against did circle like oval racing. Maybe it was dirt as well, maybe it was in trucks and that, but they all come through doing oval racing. So there is a bit different depending on the oval, like the big bank race courses require more drafting, so it's a different feel in the car. Versus trying to hit apexes in corners and braking. Like that's the kind of the big difference from a road course to an oval course. There's a lot more speed in maintaining speed in an oval course versus a lot more, hitting apexes, hitting lines correctly and accelerating correctly, going through gears on a road course.
I'm going to shout multiple Shanes a beer this week.
Yes.
I'm going to shout Shane Gillis. I would have loved to have shouted this bloke a beer in past. Just a big fan of what he does in the world of comedy. But it's actually pertinent to the world of sports this week after he hosted the ESPYs. And I think comedy is back, baby. We saw the roast of Tom Brady last year being pretty funny on Netflix. And Shane Gillis getting the keys to the ESPYs was a bold move from whoever decided to do that. But for mine and my humour, I thought he nailed it. From his opening monologue to the brilliant setup with the WNBA joke, and it's just his mate's misses, his perfect Trump impressions, which he always nails, to no one being safe from a good little roasting, and just the way that he delivers pretty good.
SGA joke was good too.
Yeah.
You're going to be foul trouble sitting around him.
If you haven't seen it, go check out
good.
Just the monologue. If you want to sit and watch the 8 minutes of the monologue that he does at the ESPYs, no one is safe. Nails his Trump impression as per usual. And for mine, one of the funniest things getting around in the sporting world, probably this year, I would say.
Definitely. It was very good.
It was.
Was it Alec Baldwin that did the last one? Was it Kevin Hart? I can't remember.
I think Hart's done multiple ESPYs. Provided he didn't step on too many toes, he might get a gig back again. Shane Gillis, comedian for those that don't know, big Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan. Played a bit of high school ball and I think some junior college. Obviously wasn't athletic enough to go any further.
Do you guys know who Drewski is?
Drewski?
Yeah.
Vaguely.
He presented one of the awards and he got up from his seat all the way up there and was like, I'm a dumbass, I forgot the card, it's on his chair. I had someone from the crowd running up for him.
Big black dude with I know Drewski. So enjoy your beer, courtesy of the Esky. Shane Gillis. This actually makes sense because we often shout by accident 17-year-olds or horses, things that can't actually drink beers.
Yeah, a bloke actually likes beer.
This guy does like drinking a beer. If you've ever seen him on Joe Rogan before.
Yeah. Should we mention some accolades from the episode?
I guess so.
What do you got there, Jimmy?
So best male athlete was obviously SGA off the back of his NBA season this year. Best women's athlete was Simone Biles, gymnastics. That would be coming off the Olympics, wouldn't it? Yep. Best breakthrough athlete was Iona Mayer.
The rugby. She's big, strong lady.
Yep, she is.
US rugby player.
Yep. Yeah. Best comeback athlete was Sunny Lee in gymnastics. Best college athlete, men's sport, Cooper Flagg, who's going to the Dallas Mavericks this upcoming NBA season. And best college athlete in the women's sport was Juju Watkins from USC basketball as well.
And best comedian on the night, Shane Gillis. Check him out.
That's it.
Monks, who are you shouting a beer this week?
Yes. Shutting a beer, albeit probably will need a doctor's certificate for this one.
Get him signed off.
Get him signed off. Ben Askren. So bit of an ordeal over the last few months, having contracted pneumonia off the back of a staph infection. He then had to have a double lung transplant in the last couple of weeks. Only really found out about this after he posted his first social media post after the operation and sort of coming to it. Probably just, shouting him a beer for everything he's been through, and hoping he has a quick recovery.
Yeah, if you haven't followed this story, I think I heard it on a podcast and then went to socials to check it out. And that picture, that first post, his
speech straight after.
Oh man, it doesn't even look like Ben Askren.
He looks like 60 pounds or something.
Yeah, lost a lot of weight.
Something.
Yeah.
There's a picture of like him with like a month's difference, and it's wild to think. But yeah, I guess if you're in a hospital bed, basically you've been fed off tubes. It's not a good thing.
I think in that first post he posted, he said that he died like four times because his heart just stopped, and just absolutely
very lucky. But wild to think that he's coaching, like training, doing mixed martial arts. Gets pneumonia and he just destroys his lungs to the point that he has to get them removed.
This is from today. Ben Askren has provided positive update while recovering from double lung transplant. Tough couple of months. Thankfully, he seems to be on the road to recovery. Yeah, it looks like he's going to make a full recovery, which is pretty crazy because his life would have been completely touch and go there. Yeah, multiple times by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
So good to see him on the mend, and he can enjoy his beer courtesy of the Esky when his doctor signs off on it.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't want to criticize the medical industry in the US, but having Dana and like Jake Paul also committing big money to help support with getting the transplant and to get the surgery. It's also financially, to support him. Great to see from them, their former competitors and former boss, to see the support that he's getting from them as well.
That's it.
Let me give a mop out to the new rugby league game, Rugby League 26. I haven't been able to play a whole lot of PlayStation, Xbox video games since becoming a father, and particularly a father of two. I was actually reasonably looking forward to this. Came out during the week, and what I've seen, I don't really have any interest in playing the game.
Yeah, come back at 12 months, I think, is the answer to that.
I think it needs a lot of patches. Just graphics-wise, I think like the close-ups don't look too bad, but the actual gameplay doesn't look like it's improved a whole lot from the game from 20 years ago. Which
exactly. I remember playing that game and...
For its time, Rugby League 2 was a good game.
It wasn't too bad. Too bad. I think the main thing is the rules were implemented. So, guys got on side. When you went to goal and point, the game ended. It didn't just keep going no matter what happened. So, there's been what's unfortunate is I 100% expected this to happen. I was like, I'm not going to get into this game from day one because I just know that it's not going to be good. I think that, they're focused in the marketing side of it. They're focused on showing how good it looks. But I'm not sure anyone successfully implemented the concepts of what a rugby league game is. But if it, like you said, it feels and looks, it plays like the old game of rugby we played 10 years ago.
Longer.
It doesn't look like it's shifted that much.
We got an article up there with some of the frustrated users up there. Someone posting 8 years because it took a long time for it to develop it as well. So I think that's why a lot of people were hopeful. This person comments 8 years and this dross is the best that you can come up with. Good word, dross. It just looks very, very glitchy. I've seen plenty of like you said, the offsides or there's a line break and then the player goes to play the ball. No one comes to pick. Like there's no one receiving the.
It's the logic. The logic of the game just like gets confused and it just loses all resemblance and structure of what's going on.
Yeah. Also, Kyle Flanagan was about the fifth rated half in this, and I think Toby Couchman is one of the highest rated locks. So go check out the ratings. Clarkie's rugby league column, he's a good follow online.
I love that. I've seen this video. I love this try they give here where he doesn't even touch the ball.
Oh boy. Well, they tried. At least they tried.
They tried.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay full price for this though.
No.
Which was in Australian dollars over 100. So yeah.
How does it work these days? Can the developers now put in like patches that will try and fix it
I
up?
literally read before I drove over here, they're releasing a patch tonight for some stuff. So, and this whole pro team thing that they've been talking about hasn't even been released yet. So they're not turning that on as of tonight, but they're still working to implement that. But
That's an online feature?
I believe so. I assume it's like Madden Team.
Okay.
For the equivalent. So, and or your FIFA team, for example, or FC team these days.
Or whatever.
Yeah, the pack side of it. You know, you open your packs, you get your teams. That's the money maker. But
microtransactions.
yes. But if you can't actually play the game,
it looks unplayable from what I've seen. And lots of people posting it, which is a shame because
a good rugby league game would go a long way.
Bloody oath, and given how long it's been since we've had rugby league video gaming. So, we haven't had a rugby league mop for a while, so there we go. It's
that one.
Rugby League 26, the game. We'll come back to some footy. Obviously, got some State of Origin to talk about from last week because we haven't potted. Yeah, we might give that about 14 seconds, I reckon. But before we get there, let's talk some cricket. So the Aussies have swept the Windies over there in the Caribbean, 3-0 in the Test series. The T20s start tomorrow morning, first of 5 T20s kicking off in about 12 hours time. We'll quickly go back to the first Test where we won pretty handily by 159 runs. Every Test won the toss, decided to bat, and won batting first, I believe.
Yeah. Did they play 9 full days of Test cricket in this?
There was, maybe slightly more than 9, but it wasn't much. So the story of the Test series was lots of wickets, not much resistance by either team with the bat. We may be lucky that our bowling unit a little bit more complete. Well, I'd say complete because Shamar Joseph had himself a tournament.
Yes.
But going back to the
Josephs, I thought both of them did excellent.
Pretty good, pretty good. I think they just weren't as deep with their bowling quartet as what we are.
Were the wickets landmines, or was it more like West Indian Caribbean conditions allowed more of the hooping?
In the third Test, the pink ball was clearly swinging around, and
2 feet.
It didn't even need to get dark. It was like, I think the first session it looked kind of playable, and then sort of by about halfway through the second session, it was just looking pretty close to unplayable. So we'll get to the Jamaica Test in a second. The first one kicked off in Bridgetown, Barbados. We win by 159 runs. Travis Head was man of the match in that one. He made 59 and 61. Jaden Seals had a 5-for in that. Josh Hazelwood had a 5-for. And we were pretty ordinary with the bat in the first innings, making only 180. We actually were behind first innings just by 10 runs. And then that middle order of Alex Carey, Bo Webster, Travis Head, all chipping in with 60-odd to get us 310. And then we bowled them out for 141 to win pretty handedly back in Barbados. Second Test rolls around. We have Steve Smith come back in after the fracture dislocation that he had in the World Test Championship. He comes in. Josh Inglis omitted. We go to Grenada for the first time, a little Caribbean island of Lisa at Camp Grenada fame. We win that one by 133 runs. Again, mostly off our bowlers. We make 286 in the first innings. Alex Carey again with 63. Bo Webster with 60. So lots of 50s and 60s. No one managing to ton up.
Not from the top order.
We'll get to the top 3 in a second. West Indies bat second. Brandon King makes 75, which is the highest score of the 3 Tests. So we'll get to England and India in a second. Completely different situation over there in England. So again, it's pretty much neck and neck on first innings. Smudge pretty good with the bat in the second innings, makes 71. Cam Green gets 52. We bowl him out for 143. No Michelle Pfeiffer's in that one, but Starkey and Nathan Lyon, 3 wickets apiece. Then into the pink Test, which is essentially a dead rubber. We've won the Frank Worrell Trophy. And the craziest fourth innings that I can remember in quite some time.
Got to make mention, of course, here, Nathan Lyon admitted for Scott Boland. And in hindsight, I guess it made a lot of sense. Pink ball, it's going to swing around. If you bowl him out for 27, you probably don't need any spin. So, Nathan was probably not going to do very much. So, get Boland some game time. And, I think it paid off in the end. How'd they run through?
Yeah, briefly, we'll get up to the fourth innings, which is what we really want to talk about, obviously. We make 225. No one gets 50, but Smudge 48, Cam Green 46, Shamar Joseph 4 for 33. Windies only managed 143, so already sort of on the back foot. In given the other games, it was a bit more even on first innings. Yep. Then we make 121. Okay, so after making just 121, you maybe thought, have we given him a sniff here? I think some people were pretty confident, given that it was pink ball, and we know what our
what's your numbers there?
Quicks can do. They're incorrect, so that's all right.
The Steve Smith Camp Green thing, I was just...
It's been copy-pasted, I think. So 27 is what the West Indies get bowled out for, the second lowest total in Test history by one run. And there was a few Sam Constance fielding mishaps, drop catches in there. So it really could have been the lowest in Test history.
Yeah.
Third shortest innings of all time by overs as well there.
So what's shorter there? South Africa against England in 1924.
New Zealand's got the 26.
So actually they lasted a fair bit longer, that New Zealand one.
They lasted 160 odd balls, I think it was.
Really?
Where was it down the list?
It's way down.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Scroll up, get us the balls there. So 87 balls in the whole innings, which is the third quickest ever. There was a 75 and an 83.
Yep.
Scenes. Starkey in his 100th test gets his 400th test wicket, so joins the likes of Shane Warne, Glenn McGrath, Nathan Lyon, pretty handy company there with his 6 for 9. His 5 for was the fastest 5 for in Test history, 15 balls. I think the previous record was 18 balls, 3 overs. He got 3 in his first over. I'm pretty sure they were 3 for none. So he got John Campbell first ball of the innings. Shane Watson, eat your heart out. There was the worst review I think I've seen in Test cricket of Kevlon Anderson. Yeah, so shoulders, arms, doesn't use his bat. They review it. It's hit him above the ankle, and it is hitting about 15 centimetres up middle. I reckon. Like, it is so plumb.
Yeah, I think maybe a tactical review. They're like, we're bleeding. Let's maybe buy a bit of time.
This was only the second wicket at this stage. So I don't think tactics come into it.
But still second wicket in the first over. They may be like...
Yeah, look, they didn't miss the review in the end. It didn't cost him.
Yeah. We just need a 5-minute breather. We just need to catch our breath.
They knew what was coming, maybe. Maybe that set the tone for what was about to happen. Yeah. Brownie King goes, so they're 3 for 9. Next ball. They were 5 for 7 in the fifth over once Starkey... No, Starkey hadn't quite got his 5 for at that stage, I don't think. Anyways, they're a shambles. They were lucky to, crawl their way to the 27. And like you alluded to, some good memes getting around where Sammy Constance might need a statue out in front of Sabina Park there in Kingston, Jamaica, because if it wasn't for him, they probably would have that record that no Test nation wants to have.
Well, we'll get to the man. So Starkey and Hazelwood start off, and then they decide to flick the ball over to Boland, and the legend that is Scotty Boland continues to grow.
Keeps growing, doesn't it? So I was saying after the Hattie, he's got the lowest Test average now in 100 years. I think for bowling minimum.
Is it 16 or something?
Yes, I think just a tick over. So it might be 16.9 or 17.1. Yeah. See if you can get his Test average up there, monks. It's even lower now after he got a hat trick from his 2 overs. He finished with 3 for 2. It was the first Aussie men's Test hat-trick back since Peter Siddle on his 26th birthday, which is a good 15 years ago, so that makes me feel a little bit old. And I think you were put in the chat, there's only like 10 guys that have got him in the past. So
some good names in that list.
McGrath, Warne, Damien Fleming, Murph Hughes. Then you've got to go back a little bit. Klein, Matthews and Trumbull. This is going back. They had 2 each. Spofford. So not a big aficionado for the turn of the 20th century guys. But McGrath, Warne, Fleming, Hughes in recent memory. Yep. Pretty crazy. It's 16.5. is what his bowling average is sitting at the moment. So 14 tests, 62 wickets at 16.5. His strike rate is 36. The legend
Can't get a go.
Legend continues. Again, we'll probably have the chat again in 6 months or 5 months before the first Ashes. It's going to be hard to leave him out.
Well, I'll give you the segue. The bowling is not the issue. So
bowling is elite.
Yes. That's what's keeping us in games and getting us wins. We've got to talk about this top order.
Are you worried at all?
Going into England coming here, yes, a little bit.
I think I am too.
My old man had this comment that we're so reliant on Steve Smith for runs, for big runs. And I kind of feel like, yes, maybe Travis Head kind of fits in.
You can throw Head in there too.
And then outside of that, it's like we need Alex Carey or six, like Webster in this regards, to save us. It's like the other guys just get torn through, which is the concern. Yeah. So what you got there? So Head, Carey, and Green, I'm assuming top scored there with.
Yeah, so Head had 224 runs at 37. Carey had 187 at 31. Cam Green had 184 at 30.
Struggled, but it had the one innings of where he got 40, 50 something.
I think, he reached 50 once, Cam Green, but I think he had 40s twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shocking tournament with the bat. And look, obviously it didn't cost us, but I think you might be alluding to if we rock up with this kind of batting prowess in 5 months' time, particularly in the top three, we might be asking for trouble.
Yeah, because I remember saying that to you guys. The top order, so the top three average for Australia in the last 4 years has gone. It was like 50, 40, 30, and it's in its 20s now.
Yeah, it's
part of that. I think has a direct correlation to if you look at Marnus's career average as well, was about the same. And I guess I don't want to say fall off of Warner, but Warner kind of ending towards his career too. There's that transition. We're now in a new opener. Unfortunately for Constance, he averaged eight. Got 50 runs. Kawaja,
not much better.
Not much better though. Yeah, only averaged just a tick under 20 when he scored 117. Maybe ate up a bit more rocks than Constance did.
Yeah, he didn't look like getting out every ball, which is, I hate to say it, pretty much where Sammy Constance was at for most of the series.
I've seen some talk on Constance as well. They've asked him to do 4 or 5 different things now. Like he's come in as a firebrand. It's like, well, you need to go back and work on your game and do the more traditional stuff, then play more traditionally. And then he's been getting out. It was like maybe you need to do more of some of the other stuff. I wonder if he's having too many years in his head at the moment and he's just kind of lost all that confidence he built up, and it's kind of reflecting in how they're playing. I will say, though, the West Indies did bowl really well.
Yeah, credit to him. Shamar Joseph had 22 wickets in this series.
At 15, so...
Yeah, it was really, really good. Just going back to our sticks, it means the first few Shield games are going to be massive. I feel like.
McSweeney gets back in conversation, and then there's always Mr. Blacklist, Cam Bancroft.
Is he permanently back?
Yeah, 32. I think he got 50 in county during the week. So, there's a few floating around there, but again, it's...
Marcus Harris will be perennially there. Jake Weatherall, a lot of people talking about, if they want to try and blood someone new. I don't know if the first ball of an Ashes is the time to do that.
Correct.
But now we've got all these guys that have some level of test experience.
And kind of, I guess my thoughts on that is, yes, this is a West Indies series. Was Marnus more rested? And does he come back into the conversation? And then how does that change the openers?
Well, I think if Marnus goes out and makes a bunch of runs for Queensland in the first three or so Shield games.
He did really well on the Shield last year, so
he's got the most experience and he's done his time. I feel like sitting out. Constance hasn't gone in there and said it's my job now, man.
But Marnus is 3, so if you slot him back in there, what happens to Cam Green? And
why can't he go back and open?
Yeah, true.
What and that's another.
Marnus,
Well, that goes to Cam Green. What are your thoughts around Cam Green batting 3?
It didn't start really well. Maybe got better as the tournament went on. He was dominant in county, so whether slightly different, more conditions. Maybe playing the Ashes in Australia. It's in Australia, yes?
Yes.
Yes. So, playing at home conditions will be more beneficial to him. I think he's long term, you're still happy with it. But, the challenge will be, is he going to be a 3 long term, or was he better as the 6? And then, how does that fit with Webster, who's been doing probably all right?
Yeah, some people will argue that you can only have one prototypical all-rounder in there and that they should be batting 6. But
Kent Green hasn't really been bowling of late.
For mine, I think he's talented enough to bat 3. I think the conditions over there are pretty trying. So I'm more than happy to keep him there. I think Usman, probably his swan song Ashes should be at least playing the first test. And there's going to be that massive conversation around his opening partner. And Sammy Constance just didn't take the bull by the horns, unfortunately, in this series. He's also fucking 19. Like, he's going to get his opportunity if he was to get dropped. Most good Australian, top order batsmen have been dropped at some stage.
Well, you think of, we're just talking about Bancroft coming back in. When was the last time he played for Australia? And he's only 32. So there's plenty of...
Be 4 years at least for Cam Bancroft.
Yeah.
Is it longer?
I was thinking maybe 6. But anyway...
when was Sandpaper Gate? He hasn't played since then.
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
So 6 years.
Yeah, I think it was 6. Because it was pre-COVID. That's the way I thought it would. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
2018.
7. Crazy.
Yeah. So he was 25 at the time. And he's coming back into that conversation of, can he get a spot? So, yeah, you can disappear into the wilderness for a while. You just got to go away, play good cricket, score runs, start the conversation. I think that's the kind of where we always are.
Yeah,
it's like a conversation of which stick do we need to replace.
I think the thing with Cam and the Bancroft advocates as well is that it seems like he's done everything that you should be able to do.
Correct.
Top scored in the Shield multiple times.
Yeah.
Gone to England and made runs. It's kind of like, well, am I not getting picked for other reasons?
I think the key difference now is what was keeping him out of the team was name value. So the guys that were underperforming, Warner and Marnus, etc., were the ones starting that conversation. You're like, hey, maybe we should be coming in for these guys, but they're name value. Sam Constance, 19-year-old, not really name value, opens up a bigger spot. He's not a guy that's been there for 20 years.
Let us know in the comments if you are cricket fans or you're catching this vid when we maybe clip it up. It's going to
be an interesting Ashes.
It's definitely going to be, I think, everything in the Australian sporting zeitgeist come November leading into the first test is who's going to be that opener because you'd think Webster's had a really good series, shouldn't be going anywhere at 6. Travis Head won't be getting anywhere at 5. Steve Smith won't be going anywhere at 4. Correct. Carey, provided his noggin's okay, he had a concussion in the last game there, but again, we're so far away, he's going to be there. There may again be the chat around,
I forgot Inglis is floating around there as
that
well.
Is true, yeah. We could have Inglis perhaps, say, well, pick me and I'll open and do a job for you. There's going to be a whole bunch of guys to potentially pick from, but no clear candidate, I don't think, until maybe we have a few Shield games under the belt.
Yeah. We could talk about the Pommies. It'll be interesting when they come out for the Ashes, and we just talked about our fast bowling and when they start getting into some of the short stuff. Because I don't want to say Rhodes, but it's been a bit easier to bat, say, in England than it was in the Caribbean.
Yeah, I think Rhodes is a fair assessment there, particularly the first 2 tests. Looked like, batting heaven. There was 700s, I believe, in that first test at Headingley, which
India scored 5, didn't they?
I think 4 and 3. So I've got them there.
1, 2, 3.
5. 4, I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and lost.
So
I think it was the first test match where they had 5 centuries and lost.
Yeah. So Rishabh Pant got him in both innings. Gill and Jaiswal in the first innings. KL Rahul got one in the second innings. And then Ollie Pope and Ben Duckett also getting in there. Good job to finish the test as well. With that many runs on the board, they often end in a draw. So England open the account at Headingley. They go to Edgbaston, and India win handedly. We spoke about it, but blending into the series, that we've got the Bumrah alternating sort of load management.
Resting.
Well, they won the test without Bumrah and they've lost both with him, although he's looked head and shoulders above any of other Indian bowler in the games that he has played. The reason why they won this second test, and they won it handsomely by 336 runs, was Shubman Gill definitely doing all he can with the bat after becoming the captain at test level. 269 in the first innings, 161, pretty handy to go with a ton in the first test there as well. I've got his numbers here from 6 innings, has 607 runs at an average of 101 this series, 3 tons. Going pretty good, old Gill. A few more tons in that one too. Harry Brook, 158, Jamie Smith, 184, not.
And Jimmy, you can chase this for me. I vaguely think after that century, he went to number 1 test batsman in the world.
Yeah, he might have done. Can you grab
Which, again, concerning that the Poms...
he's 3. I don't think he's quite 1.
No.
I think so. Root 1, Williamson 2, Brook 3, Smith 4, Drysdale 5 as it stands.
Yep.
And Gill will be shooting up that list pretty quick.
The article I'm reading, so he actually dropped from 6 to 9. Shubman Gill.
How does that work?
I'm not sure. It must have been because
third test
failed to fire in the third test.
Really? Who jumped him? Is there anyone else that's made big runs in the third test?
Rahul scored 100.
I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I want to see show you working.
Pants in there. So he would have gone. Yeah, I don't know how this works.
Bavuma hasn't played.
Bavuma and Mendes for Sri Lanka hasn't played. So
any rankings, whether it be test batting, FIFA rankings, try and work them out.
Yes.
There's some random formula there.
So England do win the third test there at Lords, 22 runs. This one was getting pretty close towards the end there. Poor Mo Siraj. If it happened to anyone that wasn't Mo Siraj, I might have felt sorry for him. But he played one into the ground and the ball was spinning so much it sort of spun between his legs and just tapped the stumps with the bail just to fall off. Yeah, good point that you've got there that Jofra Archer's back and looking pretty dangerous.
Yes, again, another guy kind of coming back and firing for the Poms, gets you slightly worried. I did
but for me it doesn't, because he is very, very good. But when he was at his peak of his powers a few years ago before the injuries, and you had, sort of towards the back end of their career, but still very handy, Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad to partner him, their bowling depth is not scary at all.
Yeah.
I don't think. Like with Wokes and Cass and that Tongue that played the first one, they just don't.
Well, I think that's why they want Archer back so much, is because he gives them the Mitchell Stark factor, if you will.
100%.
Yeah. To see him back being dangerous is more dangerous for the Poms improving overall as a team.
Definitely.
For when they come out here, because they only have the 2 more matches against India. I did the quick math. I thought maybe Root would go to 2 overall against us, but he's only 119 behind Ricky currently. So if likely he will score enough runs, I'd say, in those 4 innings to go there
4 times.
before he comes out here. But just something to be noteworthy. I'd rather hate him to take over Ricky Ponting in Australia. Do it in England against India. That's fine.
It's really the only blemish left on his pretty outstanding career these days is that he doesn't have a Test 100 in Australia and has really failed to dominate once he's been down here. And the knock on him is he gets the 50, no worries, but turning 50s into hundreds and big hundreds he hasn't been able to do. I've got the runs tally here. So lots in the low 13,000s. So as you mentioned, Punter sitting there in 2 on 13,378. Root is on 13,259. So quick maths.
119.
Yeah, behind. And he's got Dravid and Callis in between there. So good chance he goes past Dravid, Callis in this next test, and then a good chance that possibly in the next innings, but definitely before the end of the series goes past Ponting. We've spoken about it before on the pod as well. Tendulkar's a long way away there, but if he plays 3 more years, 3.5 more years.
Again, mathematically, he's there for the potential taking. If he plays the 50 more matches that equals Tendulkar,
I think
he'll get it.
If he plays 200 tests, I think it's his.
Yeah.
All right, who are your openers for the Ashes? Gun to your head.
Jesus. I don't know. I think Marnus comes back in the team.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I'd say Marnus comes back in the team.
So you say Marnus and Kawaja. I'll do something different in that case. I'll say the return of Cam Bancroft. The blacklist comes off.
I'd love to see it, but yeah, I
think a lot of Australian cricket fans would like to see it.
Yeah, I think the Shield might determine a lot of that. So yeah, if Constance goes out there and scores good runs in the Shield, but maybe he holds it. But I think they'll go old heads was my thinking, and that's why Marnus.
Yep. Any other fresh ideas?
I'll pick and stick Constance and Kawaja.
Okay, so Constance stays, gets a redemption. He's going to be ramping Jofra Archer for 6 on the second ball of the Ashes. Go.
Let's go.
Love to see it.
Clip that one.
All right, let's talk some NRL. State of Origin, Game 3, Accor Stadium, Sydney. The series was 1 apiece. On paper, New South Wales have a better team. I do believe
Better
that.
looking team.
And Queensland win the series. Yep. And had you said to me 3 months ago that Queensland's team would have featured Robert Toya and Gamat Shibasaki and Trent Liero and all these guys that are unproven, and they're going to have to ring Josh Papali'i and get him back in the squad, and they're going to drop DCE and play Dearden out of his preferred position, and they'll win the series, I would have said to you, yeah, that makes about sense, actually. That's fucking what they do. on paper, you look at that and you think, hang on a second.
Yeah, the name value was there for New South Wales.
We got Critter and Latrell Mitchell, probably
1 and 2.
1 and 2 best centres in the leagues. Herbie Farnworth, worth mentioning there, playing against a guy that didn't have an NRL contract 8 months ago, and a guy who
played 10 games,
debuted at the start of the year. Make it make sense. Billy Slater chops and changes the team. Clearly, hindsight is 2020, but made the right decisions.
Yeah.
Big call, dropping DCE after
I think
game
that
1.
was the big change, and then it was more a shuffling of the second row. And bringing Capewell back here
but it was a big shuffle.
Yeah, it was a big shuffle.
When you've got Pat Carrigan and Tino there, and you don't put 13 on either of their backs, and you go with a understated, hard-working Trent Liero, we were licking our lips after game 1, thinking,
I was shit myself going into Perth.
I remember we were sat here and we said, "How you feeling, Sean?" And you were saying,
"Yeah,
not good."
Perth,
not good at all. And then
Ashley did a solid in the Perth game, so
we'll get to Ashley Klein in just a second. But yeah, look, this is just what Queensland does, and if you look at it, post 8 in a row, post dynasty times over the last 10 years, New South Wales really should have 8 series.
In the NRL era, it's 19-9.
Is it? Yeah, that's disgusting. And yes,
it's excellent.
Yes, one of the best teams ever assembled wins 8 in a row, and there's not too much that you can do about it. I'm not even going to have a sook about that because when you're playing against Slater, Cronk, Smith, Thurston.
You're watching
Inglis, insert, superstars.
Start of that.
Yeah. Look, all right, we lost 8 in a row. From, say, 2015 onwards, or 2014, we won 1, and then Queensland wins a couple more. But the back end of the teens into the 20s, the more, I truly believe, the more talented 1 through 17 has been wearing sky blue each year.
Agree.
So
when you look at Penrith winning the comp 3 times in a row, and you've got 4 times in a row, and you got half the Penrith comp in there, and they can't seem to win Origin games. What was the Nathan Cleary stat? He's 0-3 in deciders, or 0-4.
More, maybe more. Yeah.
Yeah, and his overall Origin record's 8-9. So, some
conversation to be had there.
Missing Mitch Moses for games 2 and 3, maybe bigger than people thought. So, overall, I thought, I think Billy thought going into game 3 they needed something to elevate and lift them. Hence the whole bring Josh Papali'i back into the squad, make it his final Origin game. Like he's probably going to finish with the Raiders this year. Some talk that he might go over to Super League and finish up. Some rumours around that, but he's getting towards the end of his career. Give him a solid, that's the G up essentially. And it's like, hey, let's work around him. And then, of course, they have Munster's father pass away on the weekend before the game, and I think that really steeled them, and they played an excellent, perfect game of football where it wasn't flashy or anything. It was just clinical and gritty. And that was probably the best way to explain it. I think I put it in there: 35 from 38 sets, 92% completion rate. That state of origin history. They hadn't happened before.
And those 3 incomplete sets were in the last 15 minutes
yeah.
as well. So credit to Queensland.
They were perfect in the first half.
Doesn't matter who you got, name 1 through 17, or where you're playing them.
Yeah. Don't make errors.
Don't miss tackles. You win. We talk about it all the time on the podcast, but it's hard to beat teams that are completing like that. If you don't have an incomplete set in the first half, of course you're going to be up 20-0. That's like, we played poorly in the first half, yes, but we didn't play atrocious. Yep. Queensland just played really, really well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to explain it, because you've got the list of tries there. It was 24-12 to finish the game, 2 tries to 4. Critter scored his in 55th minute, and Toto got a consolation, let's say, at the 79th. But it was the 3, say, in the first half for Coates Deedon and Grant to kind of set the scene. The Coates try probably a forward pass to get it to it, but hey, there was lots of forward passes.
Glad to hear that from
you. Yeah, there was lots of forward passes this game. I was watching rugby occasionally out there, so but I guess Ashley tried to let the game go a little bit. Maybe he heard.
How many Ackies did we have?
He heard the podcast. It was 9-5 in total with 4 resets. So he called with 5 resets. So he called my quick math.
So it's 9-5.
9-5, yeah. There was 4 resets. He called 10 penalties in total.
In New South Wales' favour.
In New South Wales' favour. Okay. So he was more beneficial to New South Wales overall in his Ackies, as we call it.
That's Ashley Klein involvement for those playing at home. That's as alluded to in the last in the last podcast.
So, but he called 10 penalties, and that's what we called for. We said, hey, maybe put the whistle away, and I think the game flowed a little bit better. It was not a lot of stoppages. He had big periods of just constant play. I wonder if – I think Queensland were just up for it, because it didn't matter what New South Wales did. They were just beaten to pillar the post. Their forward pack couldn't get forward. And I think, Tom Deedon kind of sealed things and played enough in here. And I think Munster had an excellent game, and, big difference from what last year. No Munster last year, Munster coming back. Yeah, really kind of – and the captain kind of sets the scene for Queensland. Queensland, great.
Just getting to a couple of questions in the chat there. William 30, what's Shibasaki worth now realistically? He's on 70,000 train on trial this year. He should sign a contract for 300 plus. I would think.
I'd agree.
Yeah, after being a rep centre and the way that he's played for the Bronx this year. I don't want to get too carried away with $500,000 plus, but I think, he should at least sign for 300 to 500, I would think.
Yep.
Who else? Nathan Cleary. He's done it all in his career except for dominate Origin. You see it time and time again. Do you think he was a little bit underdone with his groin injury, as a few players were, or is there a serious problem?
Yeah. 6 of them, I think, that had injury niggles coming in this, and
because he didn't kick. I mean, he hasn't really kicked much in Origin ever, but he didn't kick much.
He wasn't doing the conversions.
No.
Low Max have been taking the kicks.
Yeah, he didn't quite look himself. Granted, he looked better than he did in game 2, I thought, in terms of how he's looking. Yeah, we got the list there. To'o hamstring, which went the other night.
Yep.
Haas had a cortisone injection for his low back. He was one of the forwards that actually was incredible. Hudson Young also had cortisone for his osteitis pubis. I can't imagine that injection feels great.
But he only played 20 minutes.
Yeah, he didn't. He played limited. Stefano was carrying a calf, and that goes to selections as well. Do we need to look at some of these guys and think, well, they're underdone, next man up mentality?
I've got their numbers there. What did they? So Max King had 6 runs for 36 meters, and Stefo had 5 runs for 51. You probably look at some of the other forwards outside of Haas. I don't think many of them had good numbers.
Well, you know my thoughts on this.
Yeah,
Terrell May. Terrell May should have been at least coming off the bench and perhaps starting in the middle for New South Wales. Yep. Surely, as a Queensland fan, you look at, and with respect to Max King and Stefano Utukamano, I think the way that May's playing his club footy, that has to translate somewhat to Origin. I'm not saying he's going to be Payne Haas out there, but I think we would have looked a lot more dangerous with him running in the middle.
Yeah, I think Mitch Barnett as well played into that. It was interesting.
Doing the ACL.
Yeah. It was interesting. A Warrior won every game of Origin because he went out and Cable came in. So
yep. Interesting.
yeah.
I honestly thought when Barnett did his ACL that was going to be May's call up there.
Which I think probably leads into this conversation about the connection where they were Daly being the coach and Nathan Cleary, their style they played. I think Gus made the comments in commentary. It was like it looked like a club style. They played a Penrith style, and they lost this series. The difference last year was Madge kind of changed it. By all reports, is they didn't play like a Penrith club style. They played more like we're an Origin team. It's an all-star game. We're an Origin team. We're going to play like that.
Yeah,
versus previous years, which again, Fittler kind of played a little bit conservative, more like a Penrith style. So, yeah, is Daly the right coach for that, considering I think he's 1-6. He's either 1-5 or 1-6 in series.
For series.
Unfortunately for him, he went through the period of going up against in the winning of 8. The GOATs. But he's in his 18 games, he's only won 7. So, yeah, is Daly the right coach for that? Is that style? Do they need, again, someone more hard-nosed like Madge was? Like, is he the right coach for New South Wales going forward?
Yeah, in terms of continuity, I would like to see Daly coach again in 2026.
I personally, as a Queenslander, would love to see Daly coach.
You like Fittler too?
Yeah, I like Brad too. So.
When Madge signed with the Bronx, but part of me was like a little bit happy for him, but selfishly I was like, fuck, like we've just won a series with a hard-nosed coach that got him up to have a series win. Part of me was really upset that he'd gone, and I probably didn't give it too much thought until there was coaching decisions made throughout this series where I was like, I just don't see how that decision should be made. And yeah, I keep banging on about May, but I think
in Madge's regard, like he wants to be a club coach. Brisbane's a primary club. It makes sense. But I also think he's probably a better Origin coach because of the style of his coaching probably fits the, like, we're here to be professional, to be hard-nosed, you're the best players in the world.
I'm not your fucking mate.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, at Brisbane, after a couple of losses, they start struggling, they start talking about, he's lost the team, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's, again, I'm happy he's coaching Brisbane and not New South Wales.
I think to that point as well, like, Kim was saying, like, keep playing club style footy. They play Penrith footy. Is that because, like, you have had the Fittlers and Dalys who are like more of that players coach? Like,
yes,
just play your game, play free flowing footy.
Yeah,
don't put too much structure
again, half
to
the
it.
team
And half the team
have the Penrith background.
And then they just
they either play for Penrith or have played for Penrith.
Yeah, it's just that muscle memory for them. They're just playing club footy.
And that works if you go out and play like Queensland played. Like if you just want to play conservative and get through your 5, put it up, try and play the field position game, no worries. You can't drop the fucking ball. You can't miss tackles.
Yeah,
If you're gonna play that conservative, if you want to play a little bit, let's throw it around. A bit of a warrior style, if you will.
Yep.
And take risks. I suppose you can. Doing stupid shit.
Which I think was probably the key difference here. I'll just cover that Queensland at game 3 was Tom Deedon. Like running to the line, attacking the line, breaking the,
He was incredible.
Yeah, I think that kind of set up a lot of, their ability to score. Like they played a very gritty style, won the feed position, but then it was just that little bit of magic either from Deedon or, usually it's Munster, but, from the two of them was, I think, the difference for where they scored points. And when they scored that, Hammer got that ball on the sideline and, a loose ball gets thrown back in, closest bloke there, the first bloke there is a Queenslander, he runs down the sideline and he's backed up by another Queenslander. Like, that do New South Wales understand Origin? Talk.
They don't get it, bro.
Yeah, but the commitment, I think that drive that Queensland had from all the shit, that for me typified it. I was just like,
that's it.
They were first to the ball, they were there, they capitalised on any benefit they could get, and they turned it into points.
You just mentioned Hammer as well, and I think that's a little bit understated as well. Him moving to fullback with Ponga going out through the Liz Frank. Again, as a Blues fan, that frightens me a little bit because him in the open field is just so dangerous. And when he gets isolated, you're like, Kalen, with respect, excellent player, but Hammer just gives me that little bit more worry as a Blues fan.
I think the difference, like Ponga. Sorry to keep cutting you off, Jimmy. I think
just to the guys in the comments, we will talk UFC. It'll probably be in an hour's time.
Ponga's style is more like ball in hand, create magic. Hammer, I think, is just a far better support player. He just appears out of nowhere, and maybe that's because of a bit of his pace, but he always is just there where the ball needs something to happen. Whereas, and Reese is probably just electric from when he gets the ball. So they have a different style. Neither of them, I think, all three of them, I don't think are particularly good defensively, like position defensively. Because, there's a few that, I think it was that Critter one where he scored down the side and was like, where's Hammer? And he's slowly coming across and he's blowing chunks because he's dead by that point. But good fullback positional play. Billy Slater's diving in with knees in the corner there to stop him from scoring. To stop him from scoring. So it's just a difference
from the coach's box as well. Yeah, and I think to sum up a few of those points, like New South Wales on paper is the best team, but from the Queensland point of view, does New South Wales get Origin? I think it's kind of like.
I think they just got to pick the best team.
The best players
pick the guys in form.
In the NRL, the best players for Origin.
Yeah. Like it is a clear.
We have the chat about Cleary versus Moses and all that sort of stuff. Like, he's relying on like that Penrith, that success in clubland for Origin, which...
We talk about it with Queensland. They put on that fucking maroon jersey and become superheroes.
Yeah.
Like it's
exactly.
You think go
effect.
Exactly. That's the difference you want to see when they put on the sky blue. And I believe they believe it. We haven't seen it, I think, is the big issue. And that record I talked about, like they haven't been able to win series consistently, even though they have such good talent go through there. And I didn't want to pick on Dylan Edwards as an example, but he's been doing pretty good for Penrith, but maybe Teddy's been playing better for the Roosters. Like, who is in more better form? Pick the guys that are in form. Pick your best 17.
After dropping Teddy last year, then it would have been a nightmare. But you're right. Yeah. I think he leads the NRL for run meters and tackle bus.
Yep.
So, and former captain of New South Wales.
Yeah. Pick the best team.
You've got some notes here about viewership. Did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I just wanted to mention that Origin kind of not rebounding, but cementing its space in being the dominant focus in Australian sports. So, it was the number one program across the nation, 5 million views. This was the main one. The Decider was the highest rating game since Game 3 in 2013, highest rated game of any game since 2016. So that probably includes all the grand finals as well.
Which is why the rig game too, to make sure that we don't have dead drones.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
Exactly. It's... so I don't really care about the BVD, but that's just, guys watching it, making sure that it has a huge number. But it was massive across Sydney, of course, big in Melbourne. That's up 28% in Melbourne. That's big.
Crazy, yeah. So when you're talking about
3% in Brisbane's not a lot, but a decent, almost 200,000.
Up 3%.
Yeah, up 3%. But and also a decent audience in Perth. So growth areas for the game across is important.
So those numbers are about 400,000 people tuned in Melbourne, which is AFL Heartland, up 28%.
Number 2 program in Adelaide as well at the time,
and had 175,000 viewers in Perth. So I think getting a Perth team kind of makes sense if you're going to have 175,000 people over there tuning into Origin. Yep. Origin aside, we've still got some regular Clubland NRL to talk about. It's round 20. Let's quickly run through it. Dolphins beat the Cowboys 43-24 Thursday night. How's this? In the last 7 rounds, the Dolphins are averaging 40 points a game. I went back and did the maths. They're doing 29.9 on the season, tied first with Melbourne. They sit in 9th, but when it comes to attacking football, as good a team out there.
Top try scorer. Can you find that out for me? I assume someone for the Finns should be up there, but maybe they're spreading the load around too much.
I think Asako and Hammer are both up there, but Bostock had been...
There you go. Hammer's won at 17.
Yeah, Bostock had been scoring tries from left, right and centre, but then he obviously did his ACL not that long ago.
What's the top 5 there, Jimmy?
But Hammer's way out in front now, isn't he?
Yeah, Hammer's 17.
17.
4 in front of Coates, Sloan for the Dragons there. And Namaquin.
Say, come on. No one goes to Winston and one.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Mucky Muck. Mucky Muck.
12. So Hammer's
Hammer's well in front now.
Yep.
We got a Hattie in this game, didn't he?
Yeah, so I think that's what got him well in front.
Yeah.
How many's Osako got?
Let him put on the full list.
Chase it up.
Johnson's been a bit slow.
Yeah,
the
he
last
hasn't
couple
scored the
rounds
last
as
couple
well.
of weeks, I don't think.
Yeah.
He's down. Farnworth as well.
Farnworth is
Has
sitting at
11.
12th on 11.
Yeah.
You have to scroll. Yeah, we don't want to talk about South.
9, and
Nine.
Bostock had 9 before he
There you go.
did his knee a few weeks ago.
So Dolphins will be looking good. We'll get to the ladder in a minute, so we'll keep progressing. Sharks, Roosters. Sharks actually interesting in some of the Nico Hines getting scoring in this, and he's Sally doing a bit of shushing what you write in the paper. So, another half that's maybe fallen off in recent form post his origin. I don't want to say debacle, but
Debacle's fair enough, I think.
yeah, but winning a Dally M, halfback of the. Did he win the Dally M or halfback of the year?
Won the Dally M
They won the Dally M and
3 seasons ago.
hasn't really capitalised on it since, but got over the Roosters here in this one.
Sharks looking okay. They won 31-18. Talakai had his best game in recent memory. A lot of hype around Blake Brayley as well. Reece Robson has the Blues 9 at the moment, but Brayley has youth on his side. Wouldn't be surprised to see him wear sky blue at some stage. And the Sharks run home. They don't leave Sydney.
Yep.
So their away games are South and Dragons, and their home games at Shark Park are Cowboys, Titans, Knights.
Yep.
So every team they play currently sits outside the top 8 on the way home, and they'd fancy themselves to win every game. Realistically, they're probably winning 4 out of 5 at least.
They're the flat track bullies. They have been for the last couple of years, so they should finish pretty well.
Should come home with wind in their sails. Panthers beat South 30-10 in the late game on Friday. That's 6 in a row now for Penrith. Just to think 2 months ago they were sitting bottom of the table. They did it without Cleary and Yo, so they got rested. Dylan Edwards captains the side. He had 305 run meters, 2 tries, 11 tackle busts. About as good a game as you can have.
South's in trouble though.
Yeah,
They've lost 7 in a row.
7 in a row.
And they're injured.
Yes.
Like we don't have it up there. But
Well, they've been injured all year.
Yeah,
but they're more injured now.
yeah, the Cheese came back, did his ACL straight away. So
Was that the one that he had just had repaired?
Jimmy will have to chase it up. I can't remember if it was, but he played the one game and basically got re-injured with a knee injury. His season's done.
Kaloa Matangi, Syndesmosis, had
Confirmed.
surgery. Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Latrell is quad. They're saying 4 weeks, but likely with where their season's at the moment,
It might be done.
Yeah, they might rest him and say come back good for next year. So,
Like a bad quad is normally 4 weeks. If there's 5 games left and it's your star player, well, I don't know what the point is.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's a bad quad, if it's lower grade,
They're not playing finals footy this year. Let's put it that way.
Potentially they could rush him back, but
Not ACL.
anything.
Cheese.
Yeah.
Jimmy will confirm. Maybe MCL.
I think he did an MCL. Yeah.
Did a ligament in his knee, unfortunately. Poor bugger.
But yeah, it's not good. I think back at our series preview season preview at the start of the year, I had South spoon. I'm pretty sure, if not second last, because I just looked at the list and I thought with all the soft tissue that they had going before it, ball had even entered play. I just didn't see him doing it. And actually, the first 2 months of footy they were reasonable, but clearly the attrition. Is
Well,
really
I think that was
struggling.
my preview. Was Wayne Bannett Magic, if they're healthy, should do well. If they started that way and then got worse and worse. We haven't talked Cody Walker as well. Got re-injured too. I think
He's been banged up all year.
Yeah, banged up a year. Played a couple of games. I think he's groin. He's been playing up. So yeah,
He's had multiple calves this year. He's had hammy. I think it's just old man body kind of stuff happening for Cody.
Yeah, so Souths are in that kind of trouble period at the moment where everyone's look at the list.
Yeah, you got the list there. It just says knee, but he's back in a few weeks. So it must have just been an MCL for Brandon Smith. They've got Latrell listed as round 24 to round 25 with his quad.
Yeah.
Already missing Campbell Graham, Cody Walker,
big, yeah.
Cameron Murray obviously hasn't played all year. Mamazoulis, who was playing well for them with the 9, he's been out with the head knock. They're just completely banged up, and I think as it sits, they're second last.
Yep.
The Milk.
Mate, the Milk had a win, and they didn't win by 4 points, which was, I think, the last 3 weeks in a row. They'd won by the exact margin of 4.
Yeah, they seem to get out in front of games and then kind of coast the second half,
Which
which is the opposite in this one.
Well, kind of what it looked like until the last 10 minutes, and then they run in about 3 tries, I think, at the end. They were actually down at the half.
Yep.
And then, in the first half of the second half, it sort of started
Back and forth.
Started to get things together.
Yeah, I think their forwards kind of got the roll on. I think if they're going to win the comp, it's on the back of their forward back.
Yep.
And Papali's playing pretty well. Tarpany's playing really well. Horsburgh's been good for them. That's what it
Zach
really
Hosking,
done.
man.
Zach Hoskins.
He might be one of the most underrated players in the NRL.
Well, he was the buy of the year last year until he got hurt.
Yep.
Because he was dominant and he's been playing really well. Hudson's playing for New South Wales. Like that's
and Paddy off the bench, plays half an hour, scores 2 tries.
Queensland.
he looks pretty handy. He looks pretty handy.
Yeah.
Jed Stewart scoring doubles. That's nice to
Yeah.
see for the Sticky's young bloke.
Yeah. They just kind of seemed to turn the switch, flicked it on, and then they run in 28 unanswered points, go to 8 wins in a row, 7-1 at home, and 2 points clear. They're at the top of the moment. They're 38 to Storm's 36, I think, currently for points on the ladder.
34 to 32.
Yeah, 2 points.
2 points.
Their run home, we've spoken about it before because they still have another bye up their sleeve, but they have Newcastle at home next week, into Dragons away, into Manly at home, into bye, I believe, into Penrith is probably the only challenging game
Tigers.
into West Tigers. So lots of easy teams at home, an away game against the Dragons and an away game against Penrith.
Yeah, Penrith will be a good test, I think, going into the finals. They probably should want one, considering they're facing bottom 4 or 5 teams leading up to that.
Well, realistically, second's the worst they're finishing.
Yeah.
So I reckon we'll see a home final week 1 at GIO.
Continuing with your boys' misery,
Man,
how about the Dragons choking away another one?
So close, but so far. Week in,
Like part of
week
me,
out.
was like, I want to see the Bulldogs lose so we can have a conversation about the whole Lachlan Gavin coming in the squad, fucking them up. They're losing the number 1 spot. They've kind of fallen off. Sexton, getting rid of Sexton, and Mahoney was the wrong call. And the other part of me was just like, I hope the Dragons fucking choke. Just like a lick up the tears.
I want to see my friends suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I hate them. Mate,
Thanks.
The Dragons were as good as the Bulldogs for the entire game, and you don't want to put it down to one play, but that Tyrell Sloan read,
sprinted in.
90 seconds to go, was
It was
horrendous.
Was it 3-on-2 or 2-on-2? Like he was
didn't-
No, it would have been 3-on-2. He just completely jumped out of the line.
Yeah.
There's no reason for
like
it.
he had there was a man overlap, so I can see the thinking, but also
But it was like premature.
Yeah, it was too early.
Gavin's seen it, and it
He's
just
got
thanks,
easy,
man.
Thanks for the. I'll just exactly.
There's
It
90
came
seconds
through-
left in the game. There's no point in jumping up into the
We
line.
were
and
talking
trying
about
to
before,
get
like,
in.
if you want to just play conservative and just back yourself and make tackles, and again, it doesn't come down to that.
We've talked about it before. It's hearable. Like you're trying to.
It was.
I'm going to
It
take an
100%
intercept
was.
here. I'm going to run 100 meters and seal this game.
Yeah, there was
Instead
no
of-
team football about
Yeah,
that
I need to
play.
back off, be a problem, and force them to make a play here.
And someone needs to sit down to him and chat to him about it, because we're just looking at try scorers. He's in top
doing
5. When he's got ball in hand, he's fast, he's electric. He's a bit of Xavier Savage about him, and just with the defensive reads, he just fucking, you want to pull your hair out sometimes as a Dragons fan. That said, we had ample opportunity to really put the game away and made dumb decisions in the last 20 minutes. We
A few
kept
penalties here and here. There, maybe discuss
giving dumb penalties away,
Yeah.
opting for a short dropout with 3 minutes to go when we've got a lead.
Yeah,
Just kick it
that
long.
wasn't- Yeah, that
Play
was
for
another
position.
one.
Just kick it long and just back yourself to make some tackles. Anyways.
Which is what Queensland did in that Origin game as well. Again, is usually exemplar of like an all-star game. They kicked deep and they defended really well. And
frustrating, man.
it just shows it works. Like I think a lot of teams have.
I would like to see the stats on that short dropout.
Yeah, a lot of teams have gone to it as like, hey, let's just make it a coin toss and see if we get the ball back. But
It ma-
A lot of the time,
I
they
think the
kick it
field
out on
position
the
for me
field,
is better.
on the
No,
field.
I reckon it makes sense. It's game situation.
Yeah,
true. Game situation.
And particularly if you're behind and you're chasing, I just think in that instance when
Yeah, or the 20th minute, you got plenty of time up your sleeve kind of thing. But yeah, at the end of the game where you need to defend the lead.
you got a lead.
Yeah, defend the lead.
You got a lead.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so risky to give them 5 tackles from
So
inside
isn't
20.
this where your halfback should
Inside
stand
10,
up?
I think
and
it was for that one. 'Cause they kicked it out.
Yeah, it went short and went out. That's right. So
Should your 85 ranked 5'8".
Yeah, top five half.
I was going to message during the
Kyle
game.
wasn't
That's
bad.
not based off kicking.
Kyle wasn't horrendous in that game. I didn't think. I think he did his job. I think with the news coming through in the week that Val Holmes done his calf and needed a repair, and he's done for the year. And going into this game, if you said, "Oh yeah, you're going to lose 20-18," I guess, you maybe take it on the all right. Some Bulldogs are pretty good, but then they just give you that little bit of hope every fucking week, and it goes back, to last week against the Chooks. You're down by 1 point. It's a great Teddy ball, granted, to ice that game. You go back the week before, you stick with the likely minor premiers for a whole game, and it's 4 points that separates that game, and really it's a KO Weeks masterclass. That's the difference in that game.
Yeah.
They're a good side. Like, they need to have belief. And no, I'm going to say it.
On paper.
On paper, we just have a win.
Gentleman 13.
They need to come out of
No,
this.
they are.
They need
They're
to come
good.
out of this season, and they're going to finish 10th, 11th, 12th, wherever they're going to finish. There's not going to be top 8 now. They're 4 points out. I just don't see that happening. It's probably mathematically possible, but realistically, that was it last night. They need to have some takeaways and think, well, look, a lot of people had us bottom 2 on the year. we beat Melbourne, and we were competitive against Canterbury and Canberra, and we're not a bad side. We drop games against sides that we should beat. And we need to probably practice our golden point death situation, because there's too many weeks. They've lost 3 games by 1 point, and too many weeks where they lose by a try or less. They're saying they've lost 8 games of their 11 have been 8 or less points.
Yeah, that's where a bloke like Ben Hunt.
Exactly right.
I was going to say
that's probably what they need to find is that replacement. They need that guy to stand up, which I think is why Flanagan, the younger junior, gets the heat at the moment, being dad's son, and the fact that that's part of what his job and role should be in that squad.
Besides, like a lot of the signings that they did make this year, they're a young side. They just need to keep developing to get to that next level.
Yep.
It seems like it,
Yeah, agreed. And it is frustrating because I've actually started to think, much like last year, we might be a sniff of finals here. And in some regards, I'm happy it's done now in mid-July, and they're not going to string us along till the end of August.
We'll get some green jerseys for you. Right?
Old Homer Simpson is coming in and out of the bush. Manly beat Storm last night. Bit of an upset there. Despite Xavier Coates' hat-trick, I was watching Carlton, so I didn't catch much of this. I did see post-game Jakey Turbo pretty fired up, kicking all over fucking Gatorades everywhere.
It was a big turn up for them.
And Manly going to 7th. So, again, it's talk about teams that are sort of smoky-ish and getting right at the right time. We spoke about Cronulla, maybe both of the beach teams, Manly going in the right direction there. They're $36 to win the whole comp.
Maybe the weather's starting to warm up a little bit.
Maybe. Tigers Titans, bit of a poosling of this one, but Tigers get the win here, 21-20. Taylor May makes his debut, coming back to the NRL, obviously brother of Terrell May, and Kieran Foran
confirmed going to retire
end of season.
300 game man. So it's long career for him. Of course, winning with Melbourne, with Manly over Melbourne for. That's his big crowning piece of his career, and of course playing for the Kiwis for a very long time too. So
31 games for New Zealand, 311 as it stands. Been to a few clubs, old Foz. Most famously 147 games with Manly from 09 to 15.
For the Heels.
9 games for Parramatta, 17 for New Zealand, 40 for Canterbury, back to Manly, and then he's going to finish with 50-plus games for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yep. What was interesting out of this game is I think mathematically they still can, but like you said before, unlikely. Tigers probably not getting the wooden spoon. Because they beat...
Good, I'm happy for him.
Yeah, so the end of the Tigers wooden spoon era, because they've got it 4 years on the trot.
3, I think.
Yeah, it's hasn't been good post-COVID for them.
So catch that up, their finishing positions over the last few years.
Yes, they now 4 points clear of the Titans with the bye in hand with the 5-6 rounds to go, so they should be fine.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah, highly unlikely.
Clip it up and watch
them lose every game and every other team win, and
big win for him against a team that's looking at the spoon, them and South. So.
Yeah, Adam Dewey kicked a field goal late to get the win.
This was a crazy finish as well. The Warriors beat the Knights 20-15. I think it was a bit of a rugby union score. Off they tried for a 2-point field goal. It gets charged down. The ball bounces out to the right edge, and then they go 40 metres to score there. Monks has got it here. Incredible
3
scenes.
seconds left there,
Yeah. How's the finish there? Is that Paliseo with the finish? Crazy.
Number 11.
Warriors been good.
Yeah.
Sneaky good.
So, by all accounts, again, I didn't really see any of this. Just saw you texting through, Monks, just saying that there's been a crazy finish there.
Do you want to bring out the ladder for us, Jimmy, again?
20-15 was the score. Leka Halasima. I'll put a P in there for some reason.
Yeah. Be interesting, though, with Knights losing again. There had been rumours that Adam O'Brien was done. Hadn't been sacked yet because then it started to talk about Ponga is leaving because he's probably got a clause in his contract that he could probably bugger off. It hasn't happened yet, but another loss for them. The writing seems to be on the wall that Adam O'Brien is probably going to be done with the Knights. This whole Ponga leaving thing was quite interesting because, again, with the Warriors, Roger Tavasashek rumoured to be going back to rugby for 1.1 mil is the report for the numbers for this Rebel Rugby 360, which is this Saudi-backed comp for rugby, very much like, let's say,
golf
the golf, and the soccer.
Saudi Premier League.
Yeah, exactly. So
Not quite that amount of money.
No, but they still got more than enough money to throw around compared to, say...
It's chump change for these blokes, isn't it?
Yeah, for the NRL.
$1-2 million contracts.
How's their video game, though?
Yeah,
that's right. I'll back it. Can you Saudis make us a good rugby league video game and you can take some of our talent?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think rugby union's had a couple good games, so we'll see. But it was interesting that in that report, outside of Roger, like Ponga was one of the focus, Pappenhausen was another, and those guys might command up to $2 million or more. So the best players could actually get a good pay bump from switching and potentially go and play in some rebel rugby. And I'm not sure if it's sent some warning shots or what the NRL will do, but yeah, it's a lot of big money to be thrown around.
Well, I'd be more worried if I was a rugby administrator in this country than the NRL. Yes, the NRL could probably, you wouldn't like to see an RTS or a Ponga go, but we can probably, the NRL could probably afford to lose, a couple of players. But yeah, the money is awesome for rugby players, but when you think about the money that gets exchanged over there in the Middle East, I think Ronaldo goes and takes a shit and makes $500,000. Like,
yes.
It's not
probably more.
You know what I mean? It
depends how many times he's got to wipe. He might be there a while.
Funny stuff. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it all happens. But there's talk that it might be happening in the next 18 months.
Yeah, it sounds like some big money going to be thrown around. So yeah, it's just something to note and to watch going forward, especially with some of these big name guys. I know, we're talking about Perth trying to start up. We've got PNG not too far away going to need to start up. They're going to need players. They're going to spend cash.
Yep.
10 new TV deals coming because of those two teams.
Watch out for the Riyadh Rebels, the 20th team in the NRL.
Yeah. And then, another rugby comp with big money behind it to potentially want to poach NRL talent. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. See how much these guys can command and how much money they're going to keep.
Let's do that NRL ladder because Monk's got it up here. Raiders outright first, 34 points. Dogs, 32. Storm and Warriors, 30 and 30. So the top four probably is set, just the order. Then the Broncos, who were on the bye this week, 26 points. Yeah, thanks, William, 30 in the comments there. Haven't spoken about them, obviously, because they've been on the bye. Going to hit their strides, finally full strength. Hunt.
So they've won 4 in a row, if I'm reading that right, and Ben Hunt to come back too. So yeah,
they're paying $750 to win the comp.
Yeah.
So them and the Panthers are the same amount of money. The bookies don't think the Wise can do it. They got 31.
Yeah.
So nice to mention the Broncos there on a week off. 1 through 9 when they're healthy with the best middle forward in the game to help them out.
Got some talent.
Yeah, definitely can't ride them off. Panthers, what did we say before? 5 in a row, 6 in a row. They've come good at the right time. They're 6th and 25 points. Manly and Sharks, 24 apiece. Dolphins with that high-powered attack, 22. Roosters, 22. Realistically, that's probably where we draw the line.
I tend to agree.
4 points down to the Dragons and Tigers on 18. Cowboys 17. Knights, Rabbitohs, Eels all 16, and the Titans, with that frustrating 1 point loss for Titans fans today, sit dead last on 14.
I wonder if South end up getting the spoon after all their
Mate,
injuries.
well, if that's the case, start clipping up what I was saying in January and February. Thank you very much.
Very happy with that.
I just think when you've got that many people missing at the start of the season, then, you throw in some injuries that you're going to get anyway. Like, if you're already going in 5 down, it's just so hard.
Your fingers crossed, the hope is they come good, but unfortunately, those guys haven't come back, and more guys have got injured, and they're struggling. Not even Wayne's magic is helping us.
Just don't have the cattle, do they?
No.
Got a mixed bag of games.
Yeah, you got the games there?
Yeah, so next week they've got the Sharks. That leads into the Broncos.
Away. Spoon Bowl.
Spoon
Away,
Bowl,
Spoon Bowl,
could be a
round
big
23
game.
against the
I
Titans.
don't see the South winning any of the previous ones.
No.
Yeah.
And then they follow up with the Eels, who also are down there.
And Dragons.
And Dragons.
So they don't have a horrendous run home, but
Finish.
that round 23 game against the Titans up in the Gold Coast.
And
might
followed
be
by the
telling.
Eels as well. Those two, will probably define who ends up getting the spoon.
Yep.
Should we talk a bit of rugby?
We should, because the Wallabies are playing the Lions, who are out here, been touring around. They played the Brumbies on Origin night.
Yeah, Origin
which
night.
was interesting.
Sold out Bruce Stadium.
Sold out Bruce Stadium, yep. So
That's Canberra for you.
Yeah, fair go for the Brumbies. Who is it the fuck scheduled that? Seriously. They still look, they sell it out. I was sure there would have been plenty of interest over in Europe.
yeah. Well, I know my old man went and, of course, said, don't tell me anything about Origin. We got home and watched the Origin game, finished it about 1 o'clock at night, and then messaged me and said, "You!" So,
Being retired must be nice. eh?
yeah, exactly. So, But the Wallabies,
Yes.
lost though. Sold out. Suncorp, big crowd there. Lost to the Lions 27-19 in this one.
First thing I noticed is an absolute rugby casual. Yeah.
Casual.
Well, Duffy kind of means you're into it.
into it, yes.
I guess.
We're not.
Casual.
We're casuals.
Less than casual. 8 Irish players in the starting 15 for the Lions. So that's kind of testament, I think, to where Irish rugby is at the moment. And no Welsh. So also telling. I was looking at the world rankings for rugby at the moment. Wales sit below Fiji, Italy, and Georgia.
Jeez.
Yep. So they have fallen off a cliff. 4 Poms in there, 3 Scots in the starting 15. It was all one-way traffic for the Lions in the first half. Big shining moment for the Wallabies was that Max Jorgensen try off the bomb, ripping the ball off the winger, I think it was there for the Lions, and then scoring at the other end. And then, unluckily, the Wallabies actually had a try disallowed in the second half. It was probably too little, too late at that stage. But yeah, definitely not embarrassed, but just not quite good enough to get the bickies. The game finishes Lions 27, Wallabies 19. Is it next week that they go?
It's a 3-test series, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, and next week they're at the MCG.
And then the following week in Sydney.
Yep. And in between all of that, they are playing First Nations and Pacifica.
15. So the Lions carry a massive squad, so I can't imagine too many guys that played full minutes or big minutes on Saturday night will back up for that game.
I agree.
Tuesday night. But yeah, it's massive. It's any rugby head that they'll let you know about it because it happens once every 12 years in Australia. The Lions only tour every 4 years, and then they obviously go to New Zealand and South Africa in those other times there. I was also looking up the previous. So the last time they were out here, I think the Lions won 2-1. I think. So quick maths here. 12 years back in 13, and I think in 01 the Wallabies won, but also 2-1. I think. Do your own research.
Talk some AFL, I think.
Yeah, let's do it. Talking about Souths before and how wounded they are, Essendon,
Bombers.
they might give them a run for their money. It's a
Season done. They're in the water.
It's a shit competition to have. Is who's most banged up, but I think as it stands in the major professional sporting leagues down under this year, I think Bombers have got it.
You got 6 on the
definitely.
list there currently.
Yeah.
Big names.
Big names.
The actual list is like 20.
Yeah.
Like they're it's it's incredible. I saw a starting 22 that you could make with their injured guys. There was only a couple names in there from VFL that I didn't really know.
Yeah.
It's like an AFL list for their injuries at the moment. Anyways, last week, Nick Martin does his ACL. Will Setterfield did a foot. But so both of them missed the rest of the year. In what a lot of people are calling the worst AFL game ever against Richmond. Some good memes coming out of that. But yeah, there's Sammy Draper's on the sidelines, Jai Caldwell, Nick Cox, Zach Reed, just to name a few. They've used 41 players in the season. So it's essentially 2 AFL teams going through. They've had 12 debutants, I think. That might be up to 13.
That's very telling.
Tough spot to be in.
Very hard. And
Are they far enough in front to avoid the spoon?
yeah,
I think West Coast
I
got
think
locked
it's-
up.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
yeah, I
Just
think
checking.
if they didn't have a few more wins to their name and were dealing with these injuries, it would be. Yeah, they're only one behind Carlton, I think, which maybe 2.
Maybe you two are just cursed, bro.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Both those clubs, notoriously over the last 20 odd years been pretty ordinary. GWS, to their credit, quite good in this 16-8, 104, beats 7-14, 59. Tom Green had 30 disposals, 16 clearances. Pretty crazy. Jake Stringer, the package, 3 goals against his old club. The Orange Tsunami starting to heat up a little bit.
Yep.
Did you watch this at all?
No, I
Friday
didn't.
night, Brisbane beat the Western Bulldogs. It actually started real late due to lightning and heavy rain there in southeast Queensland.
Ashcroft good.
Yeah, well, both of them actually pretty good. But Will had 26 disposals and 3 goals. Riley West kicked 4 for the Dogs. The Dogs run home, so they're 9th. I think the Swans can make it, but probably realistically, it's the Bulldogs who are 4 points out of the 8 at the moment. They play Essendon, GWS will be hard, Melbourne, West Coast, Fremantle will be hard. So they really need to win those 3 games that they'd be expected to win, and then need to at least win one of those other games, and then if they win out, you'd think they'd play finals footy. But yeah, GWS and Fremantle, the big ones on the calendar for Dogs fans.
Just scroll down the ladder there. So confirm our question from before. Essendon are 24 points. They're 20 points clear of West Coast, so they'll be fine.
West Coast getting spurned, dude.
Yeah, they won one game. So yeah, poor West Coast.
Hawthorn, Port Adelaide. Hawthorn win 87-49. Dylan Moore, pretty good in that. Jack Gunston, Jarman, Impey, 3 goals apiece.
Yeah, Hawthorn.
Swans beat the Kangaroos up there at SCG. No Tristan Sherry for the Kangas. How's this stat? Bryn Teakle is the ruckman that come in for North Melbourne. He actually had 17 touches and a goal, so well done to him. But probably needs to work on his hit-out game a little bit, because Brodie Grundy had 62 hit-outs to 5 in that game, which is... I don't know if
Grundy, good job.
I don't know if I've ever seen that, being one-sided from a hit-out sort of perspective. And then Grundy wouldn't have got the 3 votes because a bloke called Isaac Heaney had 34 disposals, 5 goals. Incredible scenes there from Heaney. Swans maybe have left their run too late. They're still 8 points out of the 8. But
Can you find a run for them, Jimmy?
they've gotten healthy at the right time. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, that would be excellent. I'll talk about Carlton. First, Carlton won't make the top 8, but they beat Melbourne at least by 8 points last night. Paddy Cripps had 29. Cozzy Pickett kicked 5 for the D's in a losing effort. Ashton Moyer kicked 4 for the Blue Baggers. Charlie Curnow, not too bad with his inside 50s. Obviously, Carlton really struggling with their kicking in the last month and being efficient once they go inside 50. 12 goals, 6. About as efficient as you can get, really.
A win helps calm some of the kill Vossi talk. So.
All right, so Battle of the Bridge on Friday night against the Giants. That's a massive game for them. Essendon, Brisbane away, Geelong, West Coast. I think that's going to be too much for them, man.
It's going to be tough.
There's 3 very winnable games in there, but yeah.
We talked about the Dogs run off camera, and it's probably slightly better. So.
There was another spoon bowl last night. Richmond very strong for West Coast, winning 105-56. How's the passion out in the West? They had 44,000 in there to watch 17 versus 18.
They've only won one game all year.
Yeah, they're 1-17, and they still get 44,000 out there at Opera Stadium. Tim Torino, I've written him twice. Jacob Hopper,
Is that good?
Yeah, Jacob Hopper and Tim Torino were good. I think the funniest thing that I saw in this, I didn't see any of the game, but was just watching some highlights. The kiss cam.
Yeah. Got to watch some Coldplay.
My entire news feed this week has just been Coldplay memes. It's just funny how the algorithm just gets taken over, and it's probably my own fault. I probably keep clicking on them and giving the algorithm what it wants to prey on my scrolling. But they did the kiss cam, and if you haven't seen it, you clearly
live under a rock.
Yeah,
Patrick Starr.
Pretty funny. So the CEO of Astronomer, they're about 400 person
AI company. Shock.
Company. Over there in the States, the CEO decided to go to Coldplay and is canoodling with someone from HR.
Yeah, the head of HR.
Recently promoted.
Originally promoted.
And the camera goes to him, and Chris Martin says, those guys are either really shy or they're having an affair. Well, possibly both, but one was definitely correct.
One was definitely
obviously
correct.
It's taken over the internet.
Yeah.
Alas, I bring it back to Tigers and Eagles. They did a kiss cam, and everyone is just ducking and having a laugh, and there you go. Maybe 44,000 people just came to see the kiss cam.
I've seen it in every sport. Baseball's been doing it. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Meme culture, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Today's games, didn't see any. We were just watching the highlights of Collingwood and Fremantle before. So Freo win by a point away at the MCG with Shea Bolton kicking a handy point at the death. Be interesting to see some full highlights later. That means that Collingwood's lost 2 on the trot. And when we get to the ladder, it really makes things a bit more interesting right at the top again.
Yeah, well, cover off there. Geelong beat St Kilda easy, and Gold Coast can't win away from home, so they lose to the Crom in Adelaide.
Scroll up, for us, and that ladder, I'll run through it. So Collingwood now could definitely finish not being minor premiers, given they're only 2 points clear of Brisbane. So Collingwood 56, Brisbane 54, Adelaide 52. Then Logjam, Geelong, Hawthorn, GWS, Fremantle, all 48. Gold Coast 44.
Would you say the top 3 are the only ones that can get the minor premiership?
Yep, I reckon.
Yeah.
Probably a little too far. Yeah, yep. I would say Collingwood, Brisbane, or Adelaide for minor premiership. And then Bulldogs we spoke about in 9th, 4 points down from Gold Coast. Sydney,
Mathematically got a hard slog to get there.
36 could probably get it. I'd then probably draw the line there.
Yep.
Port 32, Carlton 28, Melbourne, Essendon 24, St Kilda, Richmond 20, North 18, West Coast will get the spoon with 4.
Yep.
Who do you reckon can win it?
Oh, did you get my answer for the Tigers spoons? No, it doesn't matter. We moved on.
Oh, yeah. It does.
Yeah, I did.
Which tab?
It was gone. They were 16th, then went 17th, 17th. And before that, they were like 13th.
So 2 spoons and a second last.
I think so.
Or was it?
Or
no, the Dolphins
16th
added.
was
so it's 3 is
16th was before the Dolphins.
I'd say 3 spoons.
3 spoons.
3 spoons and a third last.
Yep.
Whereas for going back to West Coast, where do they switch with North Melbourne? Is this their second in a row?
Yeah, because they got it last year, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think it's only 2.
2?
I think so.
Just real quick on the Cats.
Yep.
So they run home. They've got North next week. Then they've got Port. Then Essendon. Then Sydney,
Richmond.
and Richmond. So that's a pretty easy
Geelong.
run home for them.
What's Collingwood's run home?
Collingwood.
It was 2 years ago that West
2
Coast got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So recent AFL spoons, Richmond, West Coast, North, Adelaide, Gold Coast, Carlton. So Brisbane back there. So interesting to see some teams turn it around and some teams just still sink.
This is where they drafted McLuggage and Berry. So
Saw McLuggage, one of the quickest ever to get to 200 games.
Yep.
The other night.
Wow. Yep. Pies have Richmond this coming week.
Yeah.
Then the Lions. So that'll be a big one.
maybe minor premiership on the line.
Maybe.
Oh, and they got the Crom there as well.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah,
they've got a
Hawks
tough
and
run.
Crom. So that's
Few big games there.
that's a tough one for them. Yep.
That AFL
That's it for AFL?
Real quick, probably side note, don't know if anything will happen of it. That Hawthorn game just reminded me of it. So Tasmania was having their election this weekend. By all accounts, it seems like Labor might form a minority government, and Labor were supportive of the Tasmanian Devils putting up the team. So that's kind of swinging back towards the potential likelihood of that extra team in the AFL being Tasmanian Devils.
Very good.
Good. Hopefully.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
For us sports nuffies, yeah, it's good. Fuck new hospitals. We want more stadiums.
Flat in Melbourne. That's grim, but kind of funny. All right, Mike.
Well, let's do some Yank sports. Basketball first.
Basketball.
Curry sets, fires, puts it up. Bang!
Let's talk some of the off-season moves in the NBA, and there's been some massive names. I've just gone. I picked some of the big names from alphabetical order here. All right, so Kristaps Porzingis going to Atlanta. The big one, I think, in the last couple of days at least. Dame Lillard going back to Portland. Will join Drew Holiday there, so they'll form a nice guard pairing once Dame is back from his Achilles. Probably not going to be till late in the season.
A lot of people like in the full circle of that because they're, don't want to say fleeced Boston and get all those picks, but they've now been able to Boston or Bucks, I can't remember. Bucks. They get the Bucks and, now have all the picks, all the stuff back. They got Holiday as well and really and they get, haven't lost anything in the full circle of it. So,
except for time.
Yes. But, hopefully they can then transition that into potentially, a deeper run than being average.
It's going to be interesting, Dame. So he signed 3-year contract, Monks. If you wouldn't mind getting his contract up, not massive money, as far as the NBA goes, but still reasonable at his age, given that we're paying him to rehab for, a quarter of his contract, essentially.
Achilles?
Yeah, Achilles, yeah. So it was him.
There were 7 of them.
Yeah, but the big high-profile ones was him, Tatum, and there was another one in the Halliburton.
Halliburton, yeah.
Yeah. So
there's 4 others, I think, as well.
Yeah, and they were all superstars postseason. Yeah. I think Dame was postseason.
I think the some history on that. There were 7 this year, and there was like 1 or 2 the year before, and then 1 the year before that. So the league's just like, why? Yeah, is there something? Shoes, courts, whatever. Did we change something?
COVID vaccine.
Yeah, microchips finally going off. Was there something there, or are they're playing too much, we're training them too hard, or that side, too many back-to-back games, not enough break, and all that sort of stuff. They're like, hey, because it's kind of rare and interesting that they had so many Achilles injuries in a single season compared to the historical of how many they have.
I'm just trying to get an AI answer just real quick.
What was the contract numbers there, Jimmy? I saw you had them.
Yes, so he's a 3-year deal, $41.6 million.
It's about 14 a year contract until he turns 38-ish.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
AI reckons key contributing factors, overuse and load management, exactly what we were just talking about. However,
I think this one, playing through injuries and into recovery, like straining something and then coming
Halliburton
back
and Tatum
both 100%.
Both did that. But that could happen any year, so why this year? Footwear? Is the shoes changing?
Yeah, why more calf, I guess, related strains leading to potential Achilles? Interesting.
Underlying conditions, factors like hypertension and certain medications. Interesting.
Too stressed out.
Mileage and age, a lot of them that are doing it are all older players.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can play into if that plays into it. Although when I say older,
they're mid-20s though.
Yeah, Hallie and Tatum aren't that old.
No.
Dame's old.
Damo's older, yes.
He's 35. Yeah. Yeah, good question. If you know the answer, you're probably worth millions of dollars to
Adam Silver
NBA teams. I see Adam Silver get smoked by Gillis and the ESPYs as well. Saying Joe Rogan was looking for him.
Yes.
It looks like an alien.
Yes.
Good shit. Check it out. My shadow beer for this evening. All right. So Dame goes back to Portland. You were saying pre-show that you've hearing lots of LeBron rumours. Having a look at the way that the Mavs are set up with his old mate Kyrie just signing a 3-year contract extension. AD
He's there.
He's obviously there. D'Angelo Russell, I think, is also there. Who LeBron's played a fair bit. You're seeing a fair bit of LeBron rumours to the Mavs. What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, I think that connection with the Lakers potentially. Yeah, well, Luka is the face of the franchise. The reports about being told about the sale of the team, whereas LeBron wasn't, and then of course today's news with Marcus Smart's buying out of his contract, intending to sign with the Lakers on a 2-year deal. By all reports, helped facilitated by Luka, saying recruiting him, come play for us. Kind of looks like it's Luka's team, and how does LeBron fit into that, and whether does LeBron want a fresh start somewhere else? I'm not sure. Dallas makes a lot of sense because he picked LA realistically to also build his brand and all the other stuff that LeBron does off the court versus what he does just with the Lakers. But he might not get a choice in if the team ends up trading him.
The odds have come in heaps, so you have to excuse the American odds, but they're still minus 340 for the Lakers, but they've gone to plus 300 for the Mavs, which is only 3-1, which is shorter than what I thought. I kind of poo-pooed it a little bit. As of July 7, so 2 weeks ago, they were plus 800 at the Mavs. So I think that's obviously heading up.
Yeah, and people making those connections that I've been made, the stuff that I'm reading. But it doesn't make a lot of sense. Cooper Flagg's now there. You don't can't
imagine that.
Yeah. How does that fit with a aging vet that probably wants to chase more rings than mentor young number 1 draft picks? So I don't know. That's the connection.
Brodie in there to sweeten the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
They also got Cavs at plus 600. Hasn't changed. It'd be
always going back to Cleveland, etc.
Big for the city of Cleveland if he was to go back. Interesting. Watch this space. They'll talk about that a lot. Other guys that the trade rumours keep circling are Giannis and Zion. No official movements for either of them, but definitely that'll get spoken about a little bit. Actually, could you look up Giannis if you wouldn't mind, just trade rumours? Because I don't think he's signed as of yet. But
yeah, why does that cover the bloke that did get traded, Kevin Durant, to the Rockets?
Yeah, so
this was a little while ago, but big deal.
This was the big story of the opening part of the trade window. So KD goes to the Rockets for Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, and all the picks. I think it's smart from both parties here. Okay, so Rockets now go into win now mode, bringing in KD to partner up with Alperen Şengün there and Fred VanVleet. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I feel like
I'm not sure if Durant was also super happy with the move. So there's a bit of his reactions because he's been on the socials streaming and stuff like that, and being told about. I think he was live when he was actually told he'd been traded, and his reaction wasn't like, "Yes, that's what I wanted to be," kind of thing. It was more, I was just like, "Oh, okay."
VanVleet, Amen Thompson's good. They need someone at small forward, I think, to help him out. Currently, Tari Eason, Dorian Finney-Smith listed as their small forwards. KD, Alperen Şengün. They've got 3 centres at the moment. So Steve Adams, Clint Capella. Someone's going to get moved there from centre, you would think, for the Rocks. Marcus Smart, you already just got to, so hasn't signed with the Lakers, but will buy out. It's all but done, essentially.
Yep.
And Bradley Beal will go to the Clippers on a 2-year deal. In terms of guys getting paid, nearly $1 billion going the way of SGA, J-Dub, and Chet between the 3 of them.
Get all maxes.
Yep, so well done. You win a ring, you deserve probably to get paid. Yep. And Paolo Banchero getting a max at the Magic. We'll talk about Chris Paul's career here briefly.
Retiring.
Announce his retirement. Chris Paul career, one of the better players that will get around to not win a ring. CP3, 40 years of age. Played with the Hornets, Clippers, Rockets, Thunder, Suns, Warriors, Spurs. 12-time All-Star, 4 times first all NBA teams, 7 times all defensive team. Didn't realise he had that. 6 times steals leader, 5 times assist leader. Likely going to the Basketball Hall of Fame, you would think. Chris Paul Hall of Fame odds. I think it's pretty much all but guaranteed.
Yeah, it should be
100%.
I think so, yeah.
It's him of the current players. It's him, Steph Curry, Harden, Westbrook are all at over 99%. Not LeBron. So yeah, well done on an excellent career, CP3. Could talk some NFL.
Yeah. Go, Jimmy. Give us some Lamar action.
Oh, he broke his ankles.
I thought I'd make some notes in here, of course, because training camps start this week.
Wow.
And then we're 2-3 weeks away from preseason. So
close.
It's getting very close. So we got a lot of our big deals this week. So TJ Watt gets paid to get a 3-year extension, 123 mil from memory. That 3-year extension is more than his brother's entire 12-year career earnings. So that was... he was joking to say, if this bloke ever makes me pull out my wallet for dinner. So those two happened. Sauce got paid as the highest paid corner, and Wilson got a big extension. They both got 3-year extensions around that 120 mil odd. Garrett Wilson, yes, sorry. So both the Jets, they were both on their rookie deal. They got the last year of their rookie deals and then get their long extensions. Mike Williams, who went back to the Chargers, has announced he's going to retire.
He wouldn't be that old, eh?
He's 30. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah. Whether that's due to recurring injuries and that, he's calling it quits, but that's for him. It doesn't have his extension in there.
No, not just yet. I'm trying to find
it says 90 mil there with an 4-year, 130, average of 32. So
good money.
Got paid.
For Garrett Wilson.
Can't complain.
Von Miller signs to go to the Commanders as well, so they get a bit more veteran. They have the oldest team in football, I believe. Yeah, which is wild to think. Him and Bobby Wagner probably make it to the top end of that.
Just from them too.
So, as we get close to the season, we'll do some fantasy previews. We'll go through some of the guys to have a look at.
Start that in the next pod.
Yes.
The preseason starts in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
we'll probably focus heavy on RBs and wide receivers for that. And then, maybe all the others getting close because, it's not too far away. We'll have August. So, we might have 3 or 4 pods in that time frame. See how we go. And we'll tackle that.
Eagles Cowboys kicks off 5th of September.
So
we're like 6 weeks away from NFL. Yeah, that's snuck up real quick.
It did.
Yeah. What was interesting during the week, the second rounders, there's a whole bunch of legal stuff to do with fully guaranteed contracts and collusion by owners from the Deshaun Watson stuff. Interesting, Houston's Texans gave their second rounder, which was Higgins, a fully guaranteed contract, and that stuffed up all the second rounders. They basically couldn't get an agreement with anyone else. So it was only really in the last couple of days that they've been able to get some of these second rounders signed. So basically all the other rounds were done, and the second rounders just took a while to get completed. But it looks like everyone will be signed to start for training camp, which is good, great for fantasy perspectives. No, the guys are locked up. Except for Stewart from the Bengals, who can't sign his contract. There's a lot of rumours that he might go back to the Aggies and go back into the draft pool for next year. So,
really?
Yeah, which will be quite interesting. So we will see how that kind of progresses.
William 30 in the comments asking about fantasy league. We have a long-term running fantasy league. Who was the champ last year? I can't remember.
You're lucky.
Actually, me versus this guy in the final there. I don't think we have the bandwidth maybe to be running more leagues, but if you're ever interested and we need someone, we'll hit you up.
Yeah, we'll hit you up.
Yep.
Yeah, probably need a few extra people. Interesting, Bills, Chiefs. I'm going to be on Denver to go deeper this year. Those two will always be tough. Ravens in that, in that side of the division are probably the big 3. One of those will go through to face probably the Eagles. Looking at that team again, they're going to be tough to beat. We'll do probably a preview of the full NFL season, how those guys are looking as we get through preseason. But yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, we'll probably just start doing previews each episode now, I'd imagine, before the season starts.
Yep.
Let me try and get you an NFL future here from Sportsbet. All right.
All those days I just said, and then throw in the Lions for the top 5. Yeah.
Lions, bit of value there, $10. $7.50 for Baltimore, Buffalo, Philly. $8.50 for Kansas City. $10 for Detroit. $15 for the Rams. The Commanders goes out to $17 for the 49ers. $19 for Vikings, Pack, Bengals. The top 100's getting sort of slow release this year as well, so they're up to 71. The episode's airing Monday night. There's already YouTube's pretty much coming out for each player. Plenty of new entries: Kirby Joseph, Sam Darnold, Vita Vea, T. Higgins, Trent McDuffie, Jerry Jeudy, Christian Gonzalez, to name a few. Definitely one of my favourite bits of NFL media. Who do you reckon is going number 1 this year?
I'd pick Lamar, but it'll be it's usually
Saquon's got to go top 3.
Yeah. Well, I just saw CMC went down 70. He's 73 from 3, so Saquon probably takes his spot. And then it's a conversation of the quarterbacks.
Mahomes will be top 5.
Yeah, Allen and Lamar's going to be in there.
There might be 3 quarterbacks in the top 5.
Yeah.
And then the year that
and then TJ Watt probably makes up the other spot in that 5.
the year that Saquon had, Jamar Chase will be a top
Jefferson.
10. Yeah, Jefferson looks a little hurt, I guess.
Still put up big numbers. So.
Yeah, I reckon he's top 10. Yeah. I love me some Justin Jefferson, don't get me wrong. But Jamar Chase will be the number 1 receiver.
Patrick Surtain's got to fit in there as Defensive Player of the Year from last year. So
yeah, he will be close to top 10. Yep. So watch that. That'll get sort of slow released over the next few weeks too. Yep. Is that it for NFL?
Yes.
All right, let's talk some beefs.
Finally, some UFC.
We're actually someone been very patient there in the comments. We're actually going to go back a couple of weeks to talk about UFC 317.
Gotta cover it.
It's happened since the last pod, and we had some nice notes there. So the lightweight fight was between Ilia Topuria and Charles Oliveira. Topuria going up to lightweight, so obviously vacated his featherweight belt, which let the door open for Volk to go back and claim that belt at 314. And Topuria goes out there and makes relatively light work of Charles Oliveira to become undisputed lightweight champ. What was our thoughts here?
Throws bombs.
He's got so much power.
Yeah,
Boxing.
it's I don't want to make the carbon copy conversation of Conor, but it looked very much like what he did to Eddie Alvarez when he came up.
How's he look below the belt?
Yeah, he might need to do some lift some weights if you've seen Conor's meat in the recent days. But
I actually haven't seen the actual picture, so I don't know if anyone wants to
he's
send
doing
that
all
to
right for 5'9". Let's put it that way. Go check your socials to find that one. But like he's hittable in this. Like Oliveira hit him with some good shots, but he just wore it and then it just threw bombs in retrospect and just put Oliveira out. It was one of the best knockouts you'll see this year. So he's just impressive. I've seen some rumors that if Islam wins that welterweight belt, he's going to go up and fight again. Conor McGregor went to welterweight. follow the history. Follow Islam up to there and take him on a welterweight. I'm not sure if that'll happen, but Max Holloway, we'll get to him today. Is in that division. Taking out 2 of the best in the top 5 of that division recently. He's in that picture. So it's in tough kind of spot, I guess, for the lightweight division because it's either, I think it's Oman, run him back after his back injuries or he doesn't really sell though, which is the issue. And you've got this mega star, again, trying to do the Conor copy. Who do you run him against?
What do you think of the Paddy Pimblett stuff post-fight? Like, is he...
That's such a dumb fight. But yeah. Fine. Like, again, it's more sellable than some of the other names. Let's put it that way. And it'll boast some interest. But, he's...
Surely Topuria would kill Paddy Pimblett. Like,
you'd think so. You'd think so.
Like... And I like Paddy, but he just seems a class. He seems a class above everyone.
Yeah.
So it's not just a Paddy thing.
No, he's got dynamite in his hands, and he's got an electric speed with that as well. It's Yeah, I think an Islam combination, he's got to be tough going up to welterweight for his size. He's already a little bit short and he'll be shorter again. Trying to carry 170, I mean. So, and more of a wrestler, that seems like a really tough ask. But, you can't deny the fact that, he's, as the boys say, he's on a generational run and he's been so good.
Dana answers Ilya Topuria versus Max Holloway rematch question. What do you say today? I got some history with the champ, so UFC, it's your next move, baby. Where's Dana?
I think
I think he's in a great position now. He just defended the BMF title. He's ranked number 4 in the world. Anything is possible for Max right now from the UFC. Boss, that to me sounds like a whole lot of Max Holloway's and probably not getting Ilya Topuria.
No. Answer the boys' question. I don't think anyone's won a belt in 3 weight divisions. It's all been 2. So BJ Penn was 2. It's lightweight and welterweight. Randy Couture was 2. Alex Pereira was 2. John Jones was 2.
This bloke's doing this all off top of his head. Yeah. Loves UFC.
I don't think anyone's actually gone and won 3 belts. Conor won 2, and he's the rare one. He was active in both, which is different to Ilya because Ilya vacated. So I guess he's the linear lightweight featherweight champion, but he doesn't currently have both belts, unlike Conor, who had both at the time, which was a rarity. I think Conor was the first to be a champ with both belts at the time. And DC. DC's got it there too.
Overview, no UFC has ever been a 3-division champion, a hypothetical achievement. A lot of the names that you just mentioned: Conor, DC, Amanda Nunes in the girls, Cejudo,
GSP, welterweight, middleweight. So there's been a few, but it's all been 2.
Yep.
And very rarely been double, like holding both, and that was Conor and DC.
Mm-hmm. The flyweight fight in this one was Alexandre Pantoja defeating Kaikara France in a 3rd round submission. In this one, there's an 8-win streak for Pantoja. Yep. He got his 14th win in the flyweight to go past Mighty Mouse. Kaikara actually did well to get a title fight here, given he's lost 3 of his last 4 fights, including to Albazi and Marino.
Which I think is kind of the issue in that division a little bit, and some of those guys have moved up as well. But you got to give Alexander his props. He just keeps getting better and defeating all the guys in front of him. So you've got the numbers there: 8-fight win streak for him, 14th win in flyweight, passes Mighty Mouse for amount of wins.
That's impressive.
Not title defenses. Mighty Mouse has a lot of title defenses. He has to continue that.
But just wins.
But it's tough. But then the following fight was probably the only other one we'll talk about in 317 was Josh Van in that absolute fight of the year war. He's Brennan Rivera was ranked 3 or 4, I think, at the time. So, he goes from his 9th ranking and flies up in there, and we'll get the next one. But it kind of sort of talks to the get a win in the division and then you kind of get a title fight. It's a little bit unfortunate for the flyweights because
it's just kind of where it is as a division.
Yeah, it is, but it's a fun. Unfortunately, it's the
Some
small
of the fights
guys,
are mad.
But they're mad because they just wail on each other. Because you got less knockout power, but you got more speed. So
much more speed.
Well, that Josh Van Brandon Royval fight a few weeks ago was arguably the best fight of the year. Kickboxing decision, and Josh Van shot up the rankings too. So I think he's Burmese background. I think trains out of America, but he's a nasty little demon too. Should we talk about the fights from today?
Yeah. Quick note there of Jimmy Crute for the Aussies. Got a win with a nice armbar there. Because I think he had a bit of a hot run, got a bit of cold, and I think that might be. He had a bit break. I think it might be his 2nd win in a row.
Yeah,
you'll have to check.
I'll grab
fact check
me
for that. But it's good to see Jimmy kind of coming back into there after a bit of a bad run.
Yeah, so he didn't fight between July 23 and February of 25.
Yeah,
so
after the bad run,
18 months there.
Some knockouts. He
draws.
had that draw. That's right. He had
2 against Manifield and Bellotto.
Yeah, but they'd get the submission win today in the first round. So
that was his first win since October of 2020.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Jimmy Crute. All right, let's talk about the main event from today. Max Holloway gets the BMF belt against Dustin Poirier via unanimous decision, 49-46, 49-46, 48-47. Shauno, you watched a good part of this, yes? Yep. Run us through it.
Yeah, I was reading the boys. So Max Holloway gets the knockdown in the first, gets the knockdown in the second, gets knocked down towards the end of the second. Dustin kind of comes back, takes the third round. Max's following probably takes over 4 and into 5, and then you get the 10-second showdown where Max shows his class where he just throws hands faster than anyone. Besides probably Ilya in that spot.
Well, faster, I'd have Max.
Yeah. So, and Dustin pulls of the clinch, and that's all she wrote. And the judges kind of saw it that way, 48-47, giving Dustin 2 there, and the other 2 had only taken that third round, with the other 4 all going to Max. So Max, a pretty dominant win there for the BMF belt to retain that, and probably a good win in the lightweight division, considering his knockout as well of Justin Gaethje recently. He'll be up there in that lightweight division, but like you kind of said there, maybe Dana's got other plans for Ilya at the moment. Yeah, we'll see.
Was the main card underwhelming, given that every single main card fight went to decision? They were all unanimous, so no controversy either by the looks.
True.
And you've got to go all the way down to the ninth fight
for
on the card
for the
for
Nuffies. They had, what was that, 6 finishes in a row? So to start the fight card. So if you're Theo Vaughn and show up the first fight from day night, you got your money's worth out of that. So
that is true. Going to the early prelims, TKO, sub, KO, TKO.
Yeah. So and there's some good fun fights in there, but yeah, for the big names at the top, probably a bit underwhelming. Paulo Costa won that fight by a unanimous decision, and kind of...
He hasn't won for a while, has he?
I think that might be 2 in a row for him.
No,
Sean Strickland. Yeah, okay.
So he beat Rockhold back in 2022.
Yep.
But since that Izzy loss, he hasn't really... Although
he was ranked 9th, I think, for this fight,
and has lost to killers. He's lost to Vittori, Strickland, Whittaker in the top
of the division. So and he looked a class above with his striking here. So it was better for him. And then Kevin Holland, the guy that fights all the time, he fights about 4 times a year. Unfortunately, gets a loss here. He did pick up a round.
Daniel Rodriguez.
Yeah, won the second round, but I think he was out wrestled for the other 2. So yeah.
In the comments, is Nunes Harrison going to happen?
Should happen. I did see Nunes is in the testing pool. So like Conor McGregor and John Jones entering the testing pool, she's done the same. So with some intent to fight, and if she's going to fight, Harris is anyone. It makes sense.
She's 37. I'm trying to just find
close.
that.
Yeah, 37. I see it there.
Yeah, 1988 vintage.
Yes.
And a long time out as well. Be a good 2, maybe 3 years. June. It's right on 2. Yeah, just since she beat Aldana.
Yeah. And she's going to come back. Harrison makes the most sense. Yep. That'll be a fun fight.
So is this UFC at the White House actually going to happen, or is it Trump talking out of his ass, or can both things be true?
Both things could probably be true. They got the 250-year anniversary for USA coming up next year, I believe. And Trump has said that, he wants Dana to do a UFC event at the White House. So, I'm not sure what sort of crowd they'll pull for that, and whether hopefully it doesn't rain, etc. But he wants that event to happen. And John Jones and Conor McGregor both put their hands up. Dana did poo-poo John Jones in the press conference post-fight for this one because I don't want to say calling him flaky. I believe he probably did agree to fight Tom Aspinall and then probably reneged on it, and that's maybe pissed Dana off a little bit to saying, hey, you need to prove to me that you're actually going to come through with this, considering retired and had 2 weeks off and then he'll come back kind of thing. So, we'll see.
President Trump stunningly announced that there would be a UFC fight with up to 25,000 spectators occurring at the White House to celebrate America's 250th birthday. Yeah,
and the boys here are saying that he's meant to meet with Dana next week, Trump that is, to kind of work it out. I think it's likely closely. Those two are close. Like Dana has been backing him for forever. So, just don't mention Epstein.
He said he's releasing the files, didn't he? This is a sports podcast. We try to keep it sports, but if that all goes to shit, who knows?
If Coldplay was big this week, that was also big.
That was a big
Very true. Just back to Dana on Jones. So in the presser, the quote was, "You know how I feel about him. I just can't risk putting him in a big position in a big spot and have something go wrong, especially the White House card."
Yep.
So the more that happens, the more it looks like it's happening.
Yeah. Then the question is, who they put on that card? It's got to be
That's the biggest card ever.
It has to be.
Like,
it's got to be bigger than 200 and 300 were. So you got to pull out all the stops, all your big names. And I guess who your franchise superstars at the moment is hard to say because
there's not
the belts have rotated a lot recently.
But we were talking about it like a couple of pods ago. There's no big US stars either.
Well, Marab is the only American citizen that's got a belt.
Really? And he fights under a Georgian flag.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is that. But if you...
Can you go to the pound for pound there? So Poirier, Makachev, Dvalishvili, Duplessis, Pantoja, Volkanovski, Ankalaev, JDM, Aspinall, Alex Pereira. Max Holloway is the highest in pound for pound.
Of course, doesn't have a belt.
That is American. Yeah, doesn't have a belt.
Yeah. So if you're trying to headline with a champion fight, it'd be tough.
You're looking at cards that would potentially be.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, it's hard a year out, isn't it? Because there's too much that needs to happen. Really, it's a bit crystal ball.
A lot could change. Like Ilya is probably your biggest champion at the moment. Alex Pereira, if he can come back, enters that conversation. You need Aspinall to do something, bring that heavyweight division back into some relevancy. So,
that'd be a good 250th. An American versus a POM. Rematch.
Imagine if that's the angle.
Winner takes all.
Ilya take on Paddy.
We've defeated you, Governor, on your own lawn. We'll have it back, thanks, mate. All right. You got to play football with soccer. Well, actually, they wouldn't say that. Soccer is football. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's enough accent work for tonight until Shane Gillis does a Trump on our podcast. All right, should we talk some boxing?
Yeah, it's a big day today for boxing. And
let's start with that because we've got Gallen and SPW at the top of this, but I think probably these two fights probably warrant being talked about before we get to Sonny Bill and Paul Gallen. Tim Tszyu today, you did watch this against Sebastian Fundora. A lot of respect and a lot of mutual respect for these guys. I was watching a bit of the weigh-ins and not too much shit talk, that you are probably accustomed to see in boxing. Fundora just said, look, ready to go out there and let's have some silence and violence. The big 6'6" fighter and
biggest lightweight in history, I believe.
Run us through how the fight played out.
Yeah, not great for Tim Tszyu, unfortunately. Got knocked down early in the first, and it took him a little bit to settle into the fight. He did steal a couple rounds here and there, but Fundora's volume and his jab was just elite. And then round 7 kind of turned into a war. They just, Tszyu threw the kitchen sink at him, really, and to Fundora's credit, he wore it all. Took all his best shots, and then at the end of the round, kind of got Tszyu up against the ring and landed about 3 or 4 really hard uppercuts, and then Tim was kind of like hanging onto the side of the ropes after the bell and looked kind of staggered, and then couldn't come out and answer the bell for the 8th round. They threw it in the towel there, and he said he was one tough motherfucker. So. It's hard to see, the concerning for, it's great for Fundora. He kind of cements himself as a champion. It's not really a fluke win after the elbow, but that elbow changed Tim Tszyu's career, I think.
It did.
He lost his first loss.
Yeah.
He came back probably too soon, got beaten up, losing that fight, then got a bit of an easier fight to kind of right the ship. But I don't know, his confidence just seems gone. So, it's going to be a hard kind of slog. Yes, he's young. Yes, he can probably go away and needs to toil away, but he's just lost that. aura, unfortunately.
Yeah, it is in farming.
Yeah, he needs to go back from his aura, get that confidence back to where he was the soul snatcher or soul catcher, whatever his nickname is, and get kind of back to where he was, because it's just been a rough.
You're right. That's first Fundora fight. He's lost to him twice now. Has the buckram loss in there too. He's
He got
really
beaten up in that fight too.
yeah.
He kind of thought like, yes, he could probably come out and forward on, but he was behind and likely going to take punishment. It was kind of thing like, we'll save our fighter and we'll come back another day.
How good is Fundora? Because at 6'6", the towering
152
carrying
pounds,
front, it's
which is wild.
yeah. He looks
He looks like you, bro.
he looks
That's
skinny.
calves.
Hey. For anyone that's watching, I sit about 6'5". Don't get me to get in the ring with this guy. I can't imagine weighing that.
152 pounds.
And I'm pretty lean. Like, I can't imagine getting that weight.
His jab was excellent in this. He fought behind that and then countered really well for any of because of his size. Like Tim has to come forward and he's got to throw big shots to try and land at that point. So
hard. Fundora's lost to Mendoza, who Zub has beaten.
Yes.
So
they have different belts, of course. So they're not unified champs, and we'll talk about one in a minute. But that's just kind of where it's sitting currently.
I was going to say maybe Zoo needs to run back against against Mendoza, excuse me, but he's coming off a loss as well. So I don't know what's next for Tim Zoo.
Yeah, whether he comes back to Australia to do some of those, say, some fun fights in Australian shores.
Some fun fights.
And then
kill some
go
poor
back.
Aussie bloke.
Yeah, exactly. But again, you see it in the crease, you go back, fight some cans, get the ship a bit, and then, get that confidence. Confidence in boxing is huge.
Yeah, massive.
This was the co-main as well, because Manny Pacquiao did fight on this card. And to answer another dude's question in the chat there, didn't win. It was a majority draw, which is wild to think. One, he's 46, went 12 rounds with the champ, who was 30, I believe.
Wow.
And by all accounts, was robbed on a majority draw, where he looked to have been more dominant in the fight. So a lot of people thinking that potentially he should have won, which, again, wild to think. But
how long has he fought, like professionally?
Well, he retired to be a politician, I'd say
5 years ago?
Yeah, a while. It is.
I'm scrolling so far here. 2021, August. So 4 years since he had a professional fight.
Yeah. So, And then Floyd, I think, has had a casual fight going along. So maybe make it happen. They make the rematch happen. Yeah, let's talk about that. So, I don't know what the draw does for him. It means, how do you say Barrios retains because of the draw.
Yeah. So that stinks even more.
Yes, it does stink even more. But he'll be up there in the top of the welterweight division. Whether he wants to get back into fun fights or whether he pushes again for say a rematch for to get a belt. But I think the big thing out of that 46-year-old taking a 30-year-old and just showing his class.
Just never forget when Jeff Warren pieced him up at Suncorp Stadium in 2017. One of the biggest things that's happened for Aussie boxing. Is a school teacher, wasn't he?
School teachers, yeah.
Jeff Warren.
8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years.
So, yes.
Let's talk Usyk and Dubois.
Happened this morning, very early this morning here. Usyk gets the 5th round knockout, huge shot, sends him crashing the canvas. His mouth guard goes flying. It was very impressive. I think his record goes to 24-0, but I think I saw 23-0. But either way, he's undefeated. As a professional, he's now 3 times undisputed. Only boxing in modern history to have, in the 4-belt era that is, to do so. I think the second time undisputed in the heavyweight division is a bit... how's you going, considering they kind of stripped him and gave Daniel this belt that he's just won back. So he kind of really didn't lose it, but he just makes himself unified again. 24-0 to confirm. Thank you. But he's interesting because he's 2-division undisputed champion as well, coming up from cruiserweight. Having those cruiserweight abilities that a heavyweight can't deal with, and just backing up his power just showed.
Power.
Yeah, for this era of boxer, by far the best. Where he sits in the all-time GOAT chat is very hard to define.
Keeps going up and up.
But it does keep going up. But, we talk about Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, in this era.
He's beaten them all twice now.
Beaten Daniel twice, as we meant. Has a huge list of winners against top guys. There's, of course, won a gold medal. He did say at the end, 38 is still young. I've still got lots in me. And then, Manny Pacquiao goes out there at 46. So he could have another 8 years of boxing. It's impressive, and at this time being the Ukrainian, putting that country on his back essentially for being the megastar from that country. Talked about it a lot as well. So, yeah, it seems really impressive. To face off with Jake Paul afterward was questionable. Boys asked about it, and I said, I think that's clickbait. Because I think that gets a bit of, that goes viral. Everyone's seeing that. I think he just gets his name talking more.
Of course.
Doubt that happens, but...
You wouldn't like.
But having said that,
everyone's like Jake Paul is a fighter, real boxer. I don't think you can go from. Do you know what I mean? Like fighting guys that are
like he beat that. Well, true, he beat that guy that was retired. Does get a ranking. I think he's ranked 14th. Now in the.
But look at like the guy can box for sure.
Yeah.
No questions. But he's not going to go fight. We're talking about someone who's arguably one of the best heavyweight fighters of all time.
But yeah, exactly. The one boxer he did fight in his kind of age bracket, he lost to. So in a split decision again, that's Tommy Fury.
And I think Usyk's a bit of a step up from Tommy Fury.
I 100% agree. So yeah,
I actually haven't seen this. Is it does it look theatrical or
a little bit? Yeah,
I suppose it always does. I 100%
to some extent think it is just clickbait to kind of because this is the issue now. Because you're talking about Fury might come out of retirement. You could run
He's
that.
He's only 36.
Yeah. And you could run that to fight again for a third fight. But I just don't think you should. And the only other fight is Joseph Parker, who's the mandatory. So Parker might get a chance as one of the interim belt holders. But I just don't think he's going to be able to do it.
Well, they've got to get
promotional gimmick. There you go.
Yeah, that's
because I think it's to do with the ring organization that Jake Paul has a heavy involvement in.
Right.
It's probably the reasoning for this stare down. It's helping promote the ring stuff. Okay.
So it just looks, it's just one little stare down. That's all it is. Yes. Yeah. It's much to do about nothing, I would say there. Joseph Parker is 33. And I'm just trying to see where he's at from a record perspective. He's 36-3
and has the WBO
1, 2,
interim.
3, 4, 5, and he's on a 6-win streak, which includes beating Shang last year and Deontay Wilder. So a few big names there.
So yeah, he probably makes the most sense again. But Usyk's just so dominant at the moment that it's tough to see.
Should we talk about the biggest fight of the week?
Gallen
SBW.
Gallen SBW. Jeez.
I didn't watch this. I saw the highlights. From the highlights that I saw, I would have thought SBW should have won the fight.
Yeah.
And from everything that I read, a lot of people same sort of rhetoric.
Yeah, I think Sonny Bill Williams, SBW, won the front half of the fight and then kind of faded, and that's where Gallen did his best work. But looking at him post fight, I'd say Sonny Bill did the more damage. And, he thought he was robbed and just left straight away. So
he wasn't happy about it.
Gallen said, I can't do it again. Like, I'm too fucking old.
He's 43.
And
he should fight Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, and, I'm not going to do boxing. I don't want to do boxing anymore. That's him done. So I doubt we see Sonny Bill and that run it back.
SBW is 39. Physically looking at him, my goodness, he still looks like he's in pretty handy shape.
He looked like he could run out for the Roosters again if he wanted to.
Yep.
I was going to say, when did he play his last game of footy?
Or South
might need him, yeah. Dragons. Yes. Actually, Rebel Rugby. See Sonny Bill roll out for
cash.
Them.
Yeah, one season, a million.
Get some cash money. Yeah, I think that's potentially where he'll go. As for Jake Paul's next fight, yes, another dude's got listed there. Anyone and everyone. I think he's just after a bigger name. So someone maybe to legitimize himself in one of those divisions.
And he's shown, to his credit, he's shown that he can actually box.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that Mike Tyson, Jake Paul thing, I'm glad I didn't pay for it. Someone else, I was at someone's house.
It was on Netflix. So
okay. That was probably the worst thing I've ever seen in sport. Like that's a big thing. That was the most overhyped thing I've ever seen in sport.
Yes. It was over marketed, and Tyson needed his A-frame. Honestly,
I wanted an hour of my life back.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's a little bit more entertaining than that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, from boxing to golf, this is a nice little segue. We have the British Open on right now. Scotty Scheffler has a 4-stroke lead.
It's about an hour away, I think, before he comes on.
So 10:30 here. We're looking at about 2:30 over there in Northern Ireland. It was a 5-way tie on day one at 4 under, and then Scotty Scheffler made a bit of a move day two, going to the outright lead, shooting a 64 to go to 10 under, just in front of the 2022 winner, Matt Fitzpatrick, Brian Harmon, and this Lee bloke from China. I don't know too much about him, but he's still sitting second, 10 under. There, the Aussies were pretty disappointing, really. Mark Leishman made the cut. Cut line was 1 over. I think Leish went 1 under. But no Adam Scott, no Minwoo Lee, no Jason Day, no Lucas Herbert, to name a few on the weekend. Bit disappointing from an Aussie contingent standpoint. Yeah. And then Scotty went bang on moving day. He goes 4 ahead to go to 14 under into today. And like Sean said, is about to come out for his Sunday round. It looks like beautiful weather there at Royal Portrush today, so shouldn't have any weather interruptions.
It's lovely.
Some of the weathers look very ordinary. Makes you wonder about,
they're having
the British Isles in summer.
They have a heat wave over there, bro. It's 23 degrees. So
yeah, they're all dying of fucking getting burnt alive. A very interesting presser pre-tournament, with Scotty alluding to, what's the point? You work so hard, the grind, and then it feels awesome for about 2 minutes, and then you go home and have dinner and think, what's next?
Winner's fatigue, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know. But when we're talking about the mindset, compared to a Tiger Woods or a Michael Jordan or someone like that.
Kobe,
Kobe Mama mentality, they treated everything like... it was the last thing they're ever going to do on earth, essentially. Having said that, maybe that relaxed, casual approach is doing him good, because he can go into Sunday, it's just another day at the office, and he's 4 strokes ahead, barring playing like arse or some kind of crazy round from someone nipping at his heels, should have his first British Open to his belt, in about 10 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Besides an absolute shitting of the bed.
In these conditions, really,
he just
shouldn't happen. I kind of want him to win a few more majors. I think, we were talking about a few weeks ago when JJ Spawn won, and it's cool to see like some relative unknown come out and win a major. But when someone's been so dominant on the PGA week in, week out, I'd like this bloke to win double-digit majors in his career, or, at least go... high. I think the way that he's played over the last 3 years is the most Tiger like that we've seen since Tiger.
Yeah, exactly.
So he probably needs some of the big silverware to go along with it. So won the PGA already this year, has 2 Masters to his names. The best that he's finished in the British Open is 7th. Which was last year. So he's going to have his best finish in the British Open. But I think with a 4-shot lead going into Sunday, anything other than coming away with the claret jug is probably unders for him.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, about an hour until he tees off there. The other big thing that's happened in the last week or so over in the UK is Wimbledon. A bit of an interesting one with... a couple of asterisks, I guess. The Swiatek one last...
controversy.
Yeah, well, Swiatek won, and she hammered her opposition in the ladies.
It's a 40-minute game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy. Try and get up the...
She'd lose 1 point?
I think...
one game, sorry?
In the final, I think she lost 1, but in...
6-0, 6-1 in the final, yeah.
Yeah, and I think she went 6-love in the... It was crazy sort of run as well in the semi. She tested positive to trimetazine. We were looking it up before the pod started. A heart medication. They don't seem to be. It didn't seem to be as egregious as the Sinner stuff.
But it is endurance related, and tennis is heavy endurance, especially when you go deeper into games.
So she served a 1-match suspension in August of last year, and then famously, Yannick Sinner having the 3-month from the dodgy physio.
In between Grand Slams. So
that's right. Yeah, you're not going to miss a Grand Slam. You can win the Australian Open and come back for the big ones in Europe. And he goes out and wins a pretty good game against, or pretty good match against Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, Carlos took the first and then lost the next 3.
So a lot of people in the tennis world, pretty vocal about it. Nick Kyrgios definitely being one of them. But yeah, I don't know if the punishment matched the crime in this one, particularly with some of the excuses coming up from the tainted massage cream.
Final was 6-love.
That is
6-0.
57 minutes it was.
7 minutes.
So an absolute walkover in the ladies' final there. Yeah, see if you can get the semi-final, Monks, because off the top of my head, it was 6-love, 6-1 in the semi. So
dominant run.
Crazy, yeah. And to think grass may not even be her best surface. Against Belinda Bencic, 6-2, 6-love. So she finished the tournament 6-2, 6-love, 6-love, 6-love. Thanks for coming, ladies. Yeah, Sinner, what do we reckon? I think we're all in the same sort of boat. He probably should have missed a couple of Grand Slams.
Yeah.
Asterisks.
Yeah. I think that's the big concern is they've done him a solid when probably give him 12 months or something, miss at least 1 or 2 Grand Slams and take it from there.
Yeah, I think just the whole optics of it it just smells.
Doesn't it? Both your winners have served bans in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Crazy to think about, like when we were talking pre-pod about like the run of, probably more so in the men's game than the women's, but the run of tennis players. He had the top 4 that just absolutely dominated. And then we've got this changing of the guard, and now this kind of puts that asterisk towards like a dominant, like top 4 or 5 players of the game.
Well, yeah, it means we're going to see probably a lot of Alcaraz fans, a lot of people cheering for Alcaraz in the Sinner matchups. But it's also interesting, like we were talking about pre-pod, in the last 20 years, just this complete domination of Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and then throw in a couple of multiple winners. We were looking at Andy Murray, he's got 3, and Stan Wawrinka has 3. And now going into the big 2 of Alcaraz and Sinner, who were at 5 and 4.
Yeah, with Joker thrown there in the middle.
So crazy handing over of changing of the guard, and men's tennis likes to be dominated by the guys at the top, and I think we're well and truly in the Alcaraz Sinner era. All right, should we finish off with some F1?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sebastian Vettel.
So probably the big story of the week, a non-race week, was the sacking of Christian Horner. Sean, do you want to take us through that one?
Yeah, it came kind of out of the blue. He was called in and dismissed, being the CEO of Red Bull, kind of a big position.
Effective immediately
immediately, yeah. He basically gave him 24 hours and so did the old Simpsons meme and said...
It has been 20 years for him, hasn't it?
Yeah, 20 years. He was the only CEO of Red Bull Racing, so they have their first new guy to take over. Had a huge, massive record, won multiple championships with Vettel and Max, of course, multiple constructors as well. Turned Red Bull into a dominant force that it is. There were some rumours floating around that him and Helmut Marko were, going doing political stuff in the background, and maybe he wanted to replace him in his advisor role with someone like Vettel, and the next minute he's been sacked. But we'll have to see kind of how that all plays out. But it seems he's lost the power struggle, as you will. The conversations about Max, maybe some desperation. There's some talk that Max had been meeting with Toto in this small break they're having at the moment in F1 about getting Verstappen over to Mercedes. Which is getting more and more likely. So whether this was... Because I'm not sure if his family, like his old man, were super Christian Horner fans or not. The whole leaks of the sexual stuff from last year, some people think it came from that side of the garage or camp, if you will. So whether this is kind of trying to placate to Max, like hang around, stay, we want you. Because it's kind of been evident that their car isn't really good, and Max is making up the difference from the last couple of years with his talent. And if he goes to like a Mercedes that have a pretty decent car, he could be winning championships and being unbeatable. So there is some challenge there.
Do you know much about this Laurent Mekies? I don't know if I'm saying that right.
No, he's been around for forever. That's probably the main thing. He's been with multiple teams. If you look at
Racing Bulls, Ferrari for 6 seasons.
Yep, some Toro Rosso, which was what Racing Bull is now. So
For ages.
Yeah, so he's been in and around the system for a very, very long time. The Racing Bulls have been doing pretty well this year comparatively for them. And, yeah, he will take over officially as the CEO for those guys. And Alan Perman, is that how you say his name? Takes over Racing Bulls as their leader. So a bit of a switch there. They're interesting for Christian Horner. There's some rumours that Ferrari might look at bringing him across, which would be wild to think that Lewis leaves, Mercedes goes to the Ferrari, Max leaves, Red Bull goes to Mercedes, and then Christian Horner leaves and goes to Ferrari.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, trying to move it all around. So, that's where the movements is. And we're not even at the summer break for F1. This is just a break in between GPs. The last race they had was Silverstone in England, which is probably why a lot of this news is happening because a lot of the teams are based out of there. What was good out of that race was Hulkenberg got his first podium. He finished third. That's his first podium after 239 F1 races.
Was that a record?
Yes, that is the record. He now breaks that. I saw a joke because they're leading into the Spa GP at Spa for this coming weekend, that he'll happily trade all his podiums for a victory. So, joking, I've got one now and I'll happily get rid of it. In that race, Lando did finish first. Oxford did come second. A bit of rain affected that, a bit of a fun old GP there in England. They still very close. I think it's 8 points the difference between the two of them.
Yeah, 8 points. 234 for Piastri,
226
for Lando.
Yeah, so, still a big back half of the season to go, but McLaren very out in front of everyone else. With Max kind of not finishing well in England, brings him out of the picture a little bit more. So they're the McLaren drivers are kind of separating themselves even further than they were previously.
When's that summer break?
Ooh, good question. They got Spa this week. I'm assuming they'll do
Hungary's the next one after that.
Hungary.
I don't know
it'd be.
I've got dates here, so need cookies. Hang on.
It's between Hungary and Netherlands by the looks of that.
Yep.
That'll be the break there because they'll have a 3 and a bit week break between those races.
So 2 more before we have a big break. Spa and Hungary.
Yeah.
Anything else from an F1 standpoint?
I think that's it for current news. Yeah. There's some talk about the Cadillac drivers and Perez and Bottas being heavy favourites for those spots. So Cadillac's
who start next year.
Yeah, to start next year. So they'll come in for next year.
I think I did see on the back of that Danny Rick has come out saying he's got no real interest in F1.
Yeah, he's retired. Like he's enjoying himself. I just see more of his marketing and ads for things that he's promoting more than anything. So yeah. And I think that's largely it. Oh, damn, there was something else I was going to say. Don't remember.
Got any Spice Girls numbers for us from Christian Horner?
Nah.
Maybe that'll be his next job. Get the Spice Girls back together.
Yeah, another reunion tour.
Maybe.
All right, on that note, that will do us for this evening. Come next pod, NFL season, one of our favourite sports will just be around the corner. We'll either talk some fantasy or some season. I think fantasy, actually. We'll probably start with
preseason was
some skill
we'll
positions.
Do a preview closer to the start.
NRL AFL seasons will be very close to finals. We've obviously got that white ball cricket over there in the West Indies, but I might be a bit more interested in the England-India games. I think I think the 4th test starts Wednesday. I think so, not too far away from that. Plus Biffs, plus F1, always something to talk about in the wide world of sports. Thank you to some new subscribers there.
Thanks the boys in the chat.
Very vocal in the comments. Appreciate that. And please, if you're finding us for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, the like. This is On The Esky. We like our Aussie sport. We like our US sport. We like our world sport. Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Monks. Always a pleasure. We'll see everyone in a couple of weeks' time. Catch you then.
Bye.
Bye.